grab food real quick. We 428 and I just got a few snacks, some Cheez-Its. Did not fall down the stairs this time. But we're in it. Let me just check that the stream is working, because sometimes it doesn't. Alright. We're in. Eating a big... So true. Okay. I mean, Why am I saving? True. The majestic title screen, bro. Alright. Yes. Okay. Here we go. I'll let the story is a work of fiction. Names, characters, places, and incidents either are products of the author's imagination or are used fictitiously. Any resemblance of... Yeah, where do you get the gist? Spike Chunsoft. Danganronpa. Wait, is this Japan? Twins, Japan. That's a bio.
新宿区オフィスビル立てこもり事件の速報です。今朝新宿6丁目のオフィスビルに目出し帽をかぶった40歳前後とみられる男が従業員数人を人質に取り立てこもりました。その後数時間経った今も男は会社員の話によりますと、立てこもっている男は北島という男である可能性が高いとのことです。その男は以前からこのビル内のある企業との仕事上の取引があり、金銭上のトラブルが絶えなかったということです。今回の立てこもりはそのトラブルに端を発したものではないかと見方が強まっています。
Damn! That shit just exploded. Shibuya's story is yours to tell. Sure is. Alright. I think I remember how to play the game. No. Yeah, it only starts with 2 characters. I guess we gotta start with Kano. Just 2 more minutes to go. Shinya Kano noted the time again on his watch, scowling at the slow creep of the second hand. The time was 9:58 a.m. Throes of consternation creased his forehead. What even does that mean? He wasn't nervous, but he knew better than to expect everything to go smoothly. Keeping a level head was proving rather difficult. There was no room for failure. Lives were on the line here. He eyed his surroundings. The freaking conclusion of this game is so heat as well, bro. I can't even lie. Was the perp really going to show up? Nikes? When? When would he be coming from? How would he make his approach? Shibuya Scramble was as packed as ever. A throng of people crossing this way and that, blissfully unaware of the dozens of detectives hidden in its midst. Alright, another minute and a half. This guy's so aura, bruh. Kano glanced down at his watch yet again. A mere 30 seconds had passed. Detective Kano had been with the enforcement arm of Shibuya's criminal affairs section for a year now, but he'd never been part of an operation this big before. He eyed up the woman standing beside the statue up ahead. She was small enough to get lost in the crowd, and she carried a nondescript attaché case. Hitomi Osawa, age 19. The attaché case in her hands contained a full 50 million yen in cash. For reference, that's $4. Yesterday, her twin sister Maria had been kidnapped. This was the ransom payment. The culprit had called Hitomi last night at home, referring to her by name and telling her to wait by the statue of Hachiko in Shibuya. It was almost time, but nothing. Kano was staring fixedly at the second hand on his watch when a homeless man sitting on the sidewalk murmured just loud enough for him to hear. "Come on, Kano. Quit looking at your watch so much." very cleanly shaven, washed homeless man. Like, his eyebrows are quite nice. Like, the only thing is his hair is a little frizzy. He's got an earpiece in. Earpiece. What if the kidnapper sees you? Kano tried to look nonchalant as he lifted his eyes, but the scruffy character continued. You're too nervous, just relax already. You're the one acting suspicious, Sasayama. Kano frowned. Why would some homeless guy be talking to me? Nonchalant. Yuji Sasayama was the senior officer at... Okay. Blue words. Extra info. Let's see what... Official name. Shibuya Central Police. Responsible for the safety of approximately 200,000 people. It's the police. Criminal Affairs Division. 5 years living in Kano. He always went a little overboard with disguises. He claimed it was all part of the job, but word around the station was that he just liked playing dress up. Hey, pal. Spare some change. Sasayama lurched to his feet and shuffled in close to Kano. Hey, knock that off. Fittingly for the part, Sasayama reeked pretty badly. Well, ain't so suspicious now, huh? He clung to Kano with mock camaraderie, despite the younger man's attempt to pull away. Come on, Sasayama, cut it out. Sasayama's blithe confidence rattled Kano's nerves. Of course, there was good reason for that confidence. This was Kanyo and Sasayama's jurisdiction. Let's see what jurisdiction means. A particular region over which an organization... Okay, yeah, we know what that means. But they were positioned a good distance from where the handoff was to take place. The statue of Hachiko. Okay, we know what that means too. We also know what... Okay, Hachiko, statue, we know it. HQ. Okay, I know what HQ means too. Okay, whatever. The statue of Hachiko was... Wait. Alright. One of T. Kano and his partner were just there to provide backup if the kidnapper attempted to flee. Look, just try to relax, we'll be fine. Sasayama gave him a wink. A moment later, the radio squawked in Kano's ear. Doctor, everyone, it's time. Keep your eyes open. Who is this guy? The voice coming in through the earpiece was Koji Kuze. Who? Kuze? Until last year, he'd been the Shibuya's precinct head detective and Kano's supervisor. We don't know when the perp is going to make contact. Holy crap, it's freaking, it's Yakuza. Don't let your guard down. Kuze's low, gravelly voice echoed in Kano's ear. You don't sound too worried, Kuze. Kano winced at Sasayama's words. How could the man be so nonchalant? He said the thing. The appointed time had come and gone. Something should be happening. Bah! Kano smacked himself in the thigh to release a little tension. The sound was louder than he'd intended, though the suit hit his muscular physique. It did little to dampen the noise. He needed to stay focused. He might be called to action at any moment. Rose the nonchalant dreadhead. The department handled abduction cases according to a certain standard investigation procedure. Was it an attempt to extort money, or was the motive something personal? The answer to that question was determined how they deal with the criminal. And based on the investigation team's initial findings this time around, they probably weren't dealing with a professional kidnapper. Still, in all likelihood, it was someone with quite a long rap sheet. Probably someone who knew the family, but so far they had few leads on who might bear such a grudge. With the situation so unclear, the plan was to apprehend whomever came to make the handoff on sight. If the culprit ran with the money, there'd be no guarantee of the hostage's well-being. Still nothing. Sasayama muttered. There he is! He's here! Kuze! Kuze broke in, his voice spiking into an excited chirp. What could they possibly have to expand on excited chirp? Kuze's particular vocal quirk. Whenever he gets overly flustered, excited, or panicked, he slips into a childish register prone to babbling and pitching. Sorry. Subject is a young male in his 20s, wearing a bandana and an orange hoodie. Kuze, normally calm and stoic, was now squawking like an excited child. That only happened when he got particularly worked up. Kano and Sasayama steeled themselves. That cannot be him, bruh. They could see the subject now. 20-something male, nonchalant. Why is everyone nonchalant? Nonchalantly approached Hitomi to talk to her. Alright, people. Be ready to grab this guy. Because he was stationed in the mobile command center not far from the intersection, keeping tabs on the situation via radio surveillance from the camera team. The young man started speaking enthusiastically to Hitomi. For real. The detectives watched uncertain. Was this really the kidnapper? Alright, choices. Alright, here's the first choice. Is that the kidnapper? Or should he get a better look? It's a tough choice. And I don't remember any of the right choices or wrong or what leads to what. So I don't know. These aren't that good. Let's see. Okay. Let's get a better look. Situation wasn't entirely clear. You need to get a better look at things. The newcomer held a bundle of letter-sized paper, which he showed to Hitomi as he went on talking. He tried to hand her one of the papers, but she pointedly ignored him. Undeterred, the man kept trying to foist it off on her. Hitomi refused to respond, becoming as motionless as the statue of Hachiko behind her, until finally the man gave up. Guess it wasn't him. Connor felt the tension of the moment linger in his spine. Guy must have been hitting on her. Can we expand on hitting on her? Is this tips? Looks are also important. Wow. I mean, she is pretty cute and all. Bro, she's like 16. He had a point. Why are you agreeing too? Though, of course, something in Sasayama's voice made Kano brace himself. She's got nothing on my Mii-chan. Mii-chan was Sasayama's wife. They'd gotten married just last month. Let me tell you, Kano, married life is the best. You gotta hurry up and give it a try for herself. This was Sasayama's favorite topic lately, and Kano was getting more and more fed up with it. For real. Sasayama, come on. I don't remember if she's in high school. She might be in college. I don't remember. Just knock it off, okay? The phrase had become a common refrain of his since the department partnered them. Fine. Let's talk about your girlfriend then. For real. I'm working on it. Huh? Now, you can't be serious. Sasayama leaned in close again. What's she like? We are not having this conversation. Kano muttered, looking away. Oh, come on. Sasayama set his hand on Kano's chest, still playing the homeless troublemaker. Show me your phone. Let me see your lock screen. Huh? Sasayama pawed for the phone. You gotta pick up your girl on your lock screen, yeah? I do not. But he did. It was scary how on the mark Sasayama's instincts were. Hey, cut it out. We're in the middle of an investigation. I am investigating. Sasayama chuckled as he plucked the phone from Kano's pocket. Is she a baddie? Let's take a vote. His face scrunched up with astonishment as he looked at the lock screen. The heck is this? It's not... Ain't this Masami Nagahama? Who's this? A national star. Kind of realized he had to bite the bullet. Nope, that's my girlfriend. Her name's Rumi and she's... Sasayama cut him off. You're telling me this ain't Masami Nagahama, the famous actress? Because this right here is Masami Nagahama. Like I said, you sly old dog. Trying to make like you're dating Masami Nagahama. What the freak even is? I'm not. I mean, I guess Rumi does kind of look like her. Sasayama let out a huff. For real? Bros Ryuji. You really think I'm gonna fall for that? There's nothing to fall for, I swear. Sasayama scowled, unconvinced. Alright, then why don't you marry her? If you like her so much, why don't you... Yeah, for Rose Cap. Kano stammered, but he had no answer. Truth was, he would have happily married her already. But there were obstacles that needed to be overcome. Okay, playtime's over. Let's focus on the job. Sasayama handed back Kano's phone and turned his gaze to Hitomi. Kano let out a quick, uneasy sigh, but his shoulders did feel looser. Maybe Sasayama had been trying to relieve a bit of the tension. Maybe he should be grateful. By now, several minutes had passed since the guy with the papers had gone away. He peered at Hitomi. The strain on her face was visible. In addition to the weight of the attaché case itself, the 5,000, 10,000 yen bills it held weighed close to 6 kilos. Not tons. I guess that her slender arms must have been getting tired. Still, she refused to set the case down. She wasn't taking any chances with her sister's life. The kidnapping case had begun the day before at around 7 p.m. This is MPD, dispatch. That stands for Japan Police Department. The Shibuya precinct is reporting a missing person believed to be an abduction. What? Subject is Maria Osawa, a 19-year-old... Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, they're 19. 19-year-old student at Midoriyama Academy. Last seen at the LL Diner near campus. Japanese law, the act of inherently luring or deceiving someone into the control of a third party is known as kidnapping. This is for real. Bro's giving me the definition of abduction. A man was allegedly seen forcing her into a car nearby. All officers in the vicinity report to the scene at once. Kano and Sasayama had been working on a burglary case in Jingle Maze, 5th District, when they got the call. These things are disgusting. The two arrived at LL Diner at 7:15. At roughly the same time, several other officers showed up to secure the area, blocking off entry to nearby roadways and monitoring the surrounding establishments. Inside the restaurant, Kano and Sasayama were met by a girl who'd reported the kidnapping. Oh, he looks kind of goated. It was the victim's twin sister, he told me. Could you tell us about when Maria was taken? Starting from the very beginning, Kano said, keeping his voice low. My sister and I, we were supposed to go to a party together today. Hitomi was trembling, her voice hoarse. Who the freak is Jayoma? But I messed up this time. I showed up right at 7, an hour later than I was supposed to. So Maria had gone alone to the party, a mixer for locals and exchange students. Hitomi, arriving late, had showed up just in time to glance up through the restaurant window and see her sister getting shoved into a car. She described the vehicle as a blue station wagon of Japanese make. Like the blue station wagon that just exploded at the start of the game, that one? Why? Why would something like this happen to her? Hitomi held back her tears, but she was shaking all over. Did you get a look at the kidnapper? Yes, it was a man, middle-aged. This one right here? There was another eyewitness, Leyland Palmer. He identified himself as a lecturer at Hitomi and Maria's school. I saw too. Like Hitomi says. I heard Hitomi cry out, so I went to the window to look. And this Japanese was halting. As if he hadn't been to the country in very long. What do you mean? Of course he's Japanese. What dude from Megamind? Markiplier? Or the bad guy? Or the camera guy? And I think that maybe the kidnapper was working alone. Oh wait, the bad guy is the camera guy. Leland explained that he'd seen the man shove Maria into the back seat, then clamber into the driver's seat. If he had an accomplice, wouldn't they have been driving? Damn, stop giving me tutorials. Dude, Mega Mind pretend. Shit, I don't remember the movie. Kano was interviewing others who had been on the scene looking for other potential witnesses. It was Yoshio Kajiwara, one of the senior detectives. We set up the task force for the investigation. Get back to the station once you've had a handle on the situation there. Barely half an hour had passed between the time of the kidnapping was reported and the time the task force began. When Kano and Sasayama got back to the precinct station, damn, I haven't seen it in like 5 years, because they had already arrived from HQ. He informed them that a response team had been formed to investigate that victim's home. Nah, maybe 2, 3. Kano could feel a peculiar tension in the air. Unfamiliar MPD, Mississippi Police detectives, scurried to and fro around the Shibuya offices. He pulled one of them aside to get a quick update. Is that her? An hour now had passed since the kidnapping. There had been one new development. The perpetrator had made a threatening call to the victim's home. He said the following. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. by Hachiko in Shibuya. Have the sister Hitomi bring 50 million yen. If not, the girl's life is forfeit. I was munching on a banana. Kajiwara from the precinct was put up to the response team, along with detectives from elsewhere who'd received special training in abduction cases. Normally, a local precinct detective wouldn't have gone undercover in a victim's home. Kuze, however, had decided that having a knowledgeable local was crucial, and had sent Kajiwara along. The detectives disguised themselves as delivery people and movers to make their way inside without arriving there at 8:30. The response team had come prepared to run a trace if the kidnapper contacted the family a second time. But there were no further calls. Oh man. Conan checked his watch again. 20 minutes had now passed since the time designated for the handoff. The kidnapper had yet to appear. Crap, you think we might have spooked him? He wondered aloud. Hey, stay calm. Sasayama scanned the passing throng. He's just playing with us. Why'd this guy even pick this place? Conan voiced the question he'd been asking himself ever since he heard the kidnapper's demands. Sasayama shrugged. Figure he must want to blend in with the crowd. Nab the money and disappear before anyone knows he's there would be my guess. In that case, why not pick Shinjuku or Ginza? Ginza? Persona 5? The big crowd didn't just benefit the kidnapper after all. It also allowed the police to use the sea of people to their benefit. Holy, this is so Persona 5. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they made Shibuya a real place. Right now, there were 50 detectives stationed within a 50-meter radius of where Hitomi stood. The kidnapper would be taking a major risk in his plan if the major risk of his plan was to nab the ransom money and run. Jujutsu Kaisen? That's what bothered Kano. Any criminal with half a brain would know better than to do a handoff in front of Hachiko. You're overthinking things, pal, Sasayama grumbled. No, I'm not. Kano reached into his pocket and pulled out his notepad. Yeah, the funding is crazy. This is why... Oh, wait, I forgot about... This was Kano's dick diary, which he always kept close at hand. This shit's so funny, bruh. Oh, man. Sasayama rolled his eyes. That thing again? Kano ignored him, flipping through the notepad pages. Aha, here it is. Dictum 89. The more irrelevant something seems, the more relevant it's bound to be. It was a favorite saying of Kyuzo Tateno, an assistant inspector from the Shibuya precinct. Tateno was the kind of detective Kano aspired to be. For the current operation, he'd been placed in charge of Hitomi's personal safety. He was in position to defend her as soon as the ransom had been handed off. Of course, Hitomi hadn't been informed of how much protection she was under. There was a risk that if she acted too secure, it might alert the kidnapper. I think Tateno has the right idea. Sasayama snorted quietly. Maybe. I mean, he's a great detective, don't get me wrong. But do you know how many irrelevant things there are to consider? Again, Kano ignored him. It didn't matter if nobody else understood. Kano had faith in Tateno as both a detective and an individual. If only. He had first witnessed Tateno's brilliance during a standoff at a financial company 3 years earlier. The man had shut himself in an office, splashing gasoline everywhere and threatening to set the place ablaze. While the others hesitated, Tateno unflinchingly doused himself with gasoline and strode into the building, where he managed to talk the man down and secure the something. The others had been awestruck by Tatsuno's actions. Kano, who at the time had been content to be a run-of-the-mill policeman, had found it quite inspiring. Still, you know, Sasayama murmured under his breath. As great as Detective Tatsuno is, it's not like anyone else in the world has ever heard of him. I suppose not, Kano said. So? He's got a banana too. Only time anyone ever hears of a cop's name is if he's caught up in some scandal or killed in this line of duty. I mean, doesn't really seem fair, does it? Kano just shrugged. It was a strange definition of unfair, really. I mean, you've got celebrity chefs and celebrity hairdressers and stuff, so how come no celebrity gumshoes, you know? Look, please, can you just focus on what we're doing here? Kano rubbed his eyes, then turned his attention back to Hitomi. What's the matter, didn't sleep? Not enough, I guess. Did you eat? Yeah, that ass. Itachi, holy mulch, so true. Between bringing in supplies for the base of operations, readying the team's vehicles, photocopying hundreds of documents, and various other tasks, Kano had barely slept the previous night, and hadn't gotten a meal either. What have you been doing? Sasayama puffed out his chest. Saving up my energy for today. So you were sleeping? Kano gave a wry chuckle at his partner's lack of shame. There he is! Kuze's voice chirped suddenly through Kano's earpiece. A man in his 20s wearing a sleeveless red jacket. He's carrying a garbage bag. Oh shit. A young man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was standing. He strode toward her, a sinister look on his face. He didn't match Hitomi's description, but Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper had hired some young street punk to snatch the ransom payment. That a guy? What do you think, Kano? Yeah, I think he's gotta be. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees, ready to act fast. Blood rushed to his leg muscles, banishing the stiffness that had begun to take hold. Could this be the culprit, or perhaps... The young man tried to snatch the briefcase from Hitomi. She clung to it with desperate strength. It was him! The detectives rushed in. Whoa, hey, oh, what the hell? The young man cried out frantically and tried to dart away, but the officers closed in, forcing him bodily to the ground. Target secured. Oh, jeez, I think we got another suspect on the scene. Eek, he's taking the ransom! Kuze's hysterics made Kano spin around. Sure enough, a foreign-looking man was sprinting away, attaché case in hand. The mob of detectives scrambled to pursue. Before Kano could react, most of them had run off, leaving him to look after the original suspect. What should I do with this guy, sir? He might have some connection to the kidnapper. Should I bring him in? Huh? Oh, sure, that'd be swell. I'm on it. With the help of the remaining detectives, Kano brought the suspect back to the Shibuya precinct. I'm trying to speed run through chapter 1, bruh. Look how many times do we have to go through this? Cut the crap. In the interrogation room, the young man who gave his name as Achi Endo steadfastly insisted on his innocence. Why'd you try to steal that case? Kano watched Achi's face intently. Like I said, it looked heavy, so I was just trying to help her out. It wasn't inconceivable that a young guy would want to help a pretty girl, but he told me I'd just been standing there, hardly in desperate need of assistance. She hadn't set the case down, so I figured there had to be something important inside. An entry from Kano's dick diary shot through his mind. Dick, Tom. When the tongue slips, grab it and yank it. Classic advice for questioning. Something important, you say, such as, how the heck would I know? He huffed and slumped back in his chair. Standard textbook back and forth had been going for an hour. Kano didn't mind. Chasing criminals was good, but questioning suspects was another part of the job. Plenty of off-the-case work went into cracking. Once again, he had Achi explain what he'd been doing, starting from the beginning. Bro, what is that fit? What is that fit, bruh? That shit's ass. When Kano finally emerged from the interrogation room for a short break, he learned that there had been some progress on the case at the crime scene. What the police hadn't been able to determine yet, however, was whether or not Maria was safe. Fighting back his anxiety, Kano consulted his dick diary. 54. Haste makes waste. He felt his tension subside, remembering the right maxim always helped. It's so bad. It's like casting a magic spell. Connor returned to confront Archie once more. You were there to act as a distraction to mess up the investigation, weren't you? Huh? Archie looked a bit dumbfounded. What are you on about? Another one. The truth hungers. You hungry? Got some katsudon if you like? Damn. No, for real. Some people dress crazy. Archie nodded silently. Archie devoured the bowl of katsudon with gusto. He looked like he hadn't eaten in a while. Alright, spill it. What's this guy after? He just shrugged. I don't know, he murmured. A thick slice of eggland pork between his teeth. How many accomplices do you have? Connor asked, but Archie just shook his head as he inhaled his food. Connor flipped through his notebook once more. This dude sucks ass at freaking interrogating. Use the lights to your advantage. As the minutes ticked past, he found himself referring to his book again and again. The experience began to feel strangely surreal, their two voices echoing in the interrogation room. Eventually, Connor looked at the clock and realized the questioning had been going for 5 hours. He still hadn't made any headway. What was he supposed to do next? Tatano would know, but he sure didn't. Still, he was determined to do whatever he could to keep the victim and her family safe. Gritting his teeth in frustration, he perused the Dick Diary like it was scripture. Number 116. The monotonous questioning was clearly tiring Archie out. His eyelids drooped like they were beginning to get heavy. For real, Dick Diaries are not helping, bro. Get them when they're tired. Connor's eyes gleamed. You're part of some criminal gang, huh? Archie's head slumped forward heavily. Nodding off was basically the same as nodding yes, right? Mr. Kuze, I did it. The young guy we grabbed at the handoff site, he finally confessed to the... No, he didn't. What? What are you talking about? Kuze laughed in disbelief. We're just about to apprehend the mastermind here. Huh? Connor clutched his cell phone, dumbstruck. Listen, why don't you, just wait there at HQ, okay? No, it can't be. That is not a confession. What, is he gonna shoot him? What the hell? After the kidnapping case wrapped up, Kano tendered his resignation. Oh, damn. Guess I'm not cut out to be a detective after all, he thought to himself. Yeah, this dude's a bum. He dropped the Dick Diary on his desk and left Shibuya Precinct for the last time. Let's go. So long, Shibuya. Alright. So we gotta fix this bad ending. Hint, Kano had every reason to suspect Achiendo, but arresting him was a mistake. Alright. We can fix this. No, well, basically, the way the game works is you get bad endings, and so whenever like you freak up stuff because of a bad ending, you have to swap to a different timeline. Cause like, so now playing as Achi, I gotta do stuff that'll like avoid grabbing the case or like avoiding that area, so that you can apprehend the actual suspect. So now I gotta switch to Achi. Yeah, well, depending on what choices you pick. This one it does just because it's like the tutorial. Suited up. Achiendo called out at the door to his father's room. Okay, I'm heading out. Sure. His father sounded unconcerned. He didn't even open the door. Sure you don't want me to stay in the shop? Also, I just remembered, they announced a sequel to this game. Like 20 years later. So, I might have to get that. It's not like we're gonna get any customers. Achi grimaced. Yeah, I guess not. The drawer by the front door held a stack of heavy-duty trash bags. Archie pulled a few of them out. Guess it's gonna be that kind of day. He stuffed the trash bags into his pocket and slipped on his favorite pair of sneakers. Bro, the whole fit is crazy. The entryway to Archie's home also led to the family shop. Various pieces of electronics were piled up like so much junk in the tiny retail space. The slightest bump brought the risk of an avalanche. Avalanche! Final Fantasy VII! Archie wove his way through the gaps in the appliances like a spelunker. From Shibuya Station, if you make your way past the 109, then up Donganzaka, you'll come across shopping. Nestled on the outskirts is Endo Electronics. Within its dimly lit interior, you'll find rows of cake. At a glance, you might well assume the place was closed. A mom-and-pop place like Endo's couldn't compete with the big consumer chains. So far, the store has remained in business thanks to the locals. But things weren't looking good for the future. Archie, the eldest son and nominal successor to the business, had no interest. Archie stepped out of the shop into the sunny morning air. The good weather lifted his spirits. Alright, time to do this! He unfurled one of the big, fat garbage bags, which caught the wind and fluttered like a cape. Then he slowly made his way toward Shibuya Station, scanning. Sheesh, this place is filthy. He paused to pick up a plastic bottle that had been tossed. Then with a heavy sigh, he slipped it in. What? He's really just cleaning shit up, bruh. He's been picking up trash around town like this for about 6 months now. It had gotten so that the sort of garbage most people would hardly notice stood out. Most days he filled his bag to the top by the time he made it from his house to the station. Today he was halfway to the station when a woman's anxious voice caught his attention. "I'm sorry, I'm in a bit of a hurry here." He looked up and saw a timid-looking woman being confronted by 2 men. From the look of them, he guessed that the men were scouts for some hostess club. He ran into the sort of thing pretty frequently. Another kind of trash to take care of. Archie quickly interposed himself between the girl and the 2 recruiters. "Hey, can't you see that you're bothering her?" "Huh? Who the hell are you?" The 2 men glared. "Take a hike, pal." Archie stood his ground. "Look, she ain't interested. You're just gonna have to find some other mark." The hustler's annoyance turned into open rage. Well, listen to you. Got a bit of a mouth, huh, buddy?" The brown-haired thug smacked his lips around his chewing gum. "Mwah, mwah. How about we take this someplace more quiet?" Let me guess, is it going to say someplace more quiet refers to somewhere where you fight? Let's go someplace more quiet. For punk means alleyway. The girl stood by uneasily watching the goings-on. "Hey, take it easy. I'm not looking for trouble." "Is that supposed to be an apology?" "On your knees and beg, pal." The man spat his gum on the ground. Uh-oh. He just littered. Yeah, for real. They want to freaking... They might... That would be the craziest plot twist, bruh. He looked at the gum. His last shred of goodwill vanished. "You better pick that up right now." "What? Didn't you hear me? 'Cause I told you to get down on your knees and... Bah! Archie's hand shot out, grabbing the man by the jaw. "Whoa, easy, pal." The other man's bravado drained from his face. Tightened his grip on the brown-haired hustler's jaw. Sweat dripped from his brow. The man struggled, but Archie just tightened his grip. "Gum's a real pain in the ass to clean after it's got stuck. Ever stop to consider that?" "Wait, are you..." The other hustler panicked, his eyes fixed on Archie's chest. Oh, crap! That shirt, man! This guy's voice was starting to break. That's Mean Clean! What? The guy with the Mean Clean shirt? Carrying around a trash bag? That means you're... His face went pale. Oh. That's so freaking true. Mean Clean? The other man echoed the words through his shut jaw, tears welling. "Get it right, pal." Archie clenched his jaw harder. "It's Mean Clean." Ow, ow, ow. "We're sorry, man. You're Archie, right?" "Dude, we had no idea. Come on, man. You gotta cut us some slack." This man scrambled to snatch the wad of gum off the street. stuffing in his pocket. Finally, he let go. The brown-haired hustler's face twisted with fear, tears streaming down his cheeks. Gasping out a hasty apology. Yeah, that shit stopped, bruh. Gasping out hasty apologies, the two thugs scampered off. Hey, so... A shy smile came to the girl's face. Are they gonna... Girl? Okay, they're just, Wait, what? It's popular plot in trash and evil novels for the main character to fall in love with a hustler like these guys. Such things really happen in real life. Thank you for saving me. No, I apologize. Huh? The girl stared in surprise. You'll run into creeps like that now and then. But don't hold it against us. Shibuya's a good town. Yeah, okay. Hachi gave her a quick wave, then turned and continued on his way down Zakura. Hachi was Shibuya born and raised. He was keenly aware of all the changes that had happened. Grocery stalls and inconspicuous little side streets that parks that nestled between buildings. He knew it all. Trash, human or not, human or otherwise, had no place in this town. Not on his watch. Hachi made his way down toward Shibuya Station. The throngs of people shuffled to and fro across the scramble. The view shifted constantly from one moment to the next, almost as if the city were alive. And if the city was a living thing, then Shibuya Station was its heart. The streets like Bunka Muradori and Center Gai serving as the arteries pumping a bloodstream made by people. Oh, I just realized there's a dude that's like Akiyama, and he has this freaking assistant too. It's crazy. Today as ever, the heart was pumping that blood to every nook and cranny of Shibuya. And there was Hachi, just another part of this great urban Samsung! Except he's a little more insane. Guess I'm one of the city's white blood cells. Oh wait, maybe I'm a red blood cell. Hold on. Is that right? Did I ever read the first time? White blood cells eliminate pathogens from the bloodstream. Red cells carry oxygen throughout the body. Actually, was probably thinking of white blood cells. There's freaking... They go to a arcade at one point in the game, and there's like Sonic the Hedgehog everywhere. Emerging from his reverie, he noticed a rather conspicuous young woman standing by the statue of Hachiko outside the Shibuya station. Oh, she's totally my type. Bro! To be up someone's alley. To be someone's cup of tea. Thanks. Wonder if she's a model or a small-time actress or something. Looks like she's waiting for someone. Probably another guy. Dang. But looking as she was, there was no way she wasn't already taken. What kind of guy scored a girl like that? Jump into probably the rich-ass CEO of an IT company. For, very useful. Anyway, what is it? This dude's just making up shit. Like, she's probably taken. Why even bother? Crouching down to tie off the trash bag, he continued gazing wistfully at the girl. Then he noticed something peculiar. She was carrying an attaché case, the kind a businessman might use. It was a large case and apparently so heavy that she was struggling to hold it. Okay. So, I'm guessing... No, I'm not even guessing. I am confirming we're not doing the first one. But first, I gotta dump this trash. Okay, yeah, nah, he'll go elsewhere. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. He will no longer end up with the bad ending. Alright. This is the time chart. Now we can go back. Yay, yay! I suppose you could call it that. Kind of give a wry chuckle at his prince like a shame. There he is! Because his voice chirped suddenly. What the frick? The man in the black coat. He's not Japanese. Looks in his early 30s. This dude looks like a Redditor, bruh. Okay. Hachi got mixed up, but now the story's changed. A foreign man had emerged from the crowd about 15 feet from where Hitomi was. He didn't match the description Hitomi had given him. Kano felt a jolt of nerves all the same. Maybe the kidnapper was using an accomplice. Oh, hell no. Actually, you know what? Same. Alright. This may be our guy. This was it. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat. He bent his knees. Blood rushed to his leg muscles. Oh, man. He looks like Adam Driver. Was this the culprit? Or perhaps... The stranger took hold of the case. It was him! En masse! The detectives began to close in. Let's go, Kano! On it! Sasayama stepped in. But they never expected what happened next. With the case clutched in both arms, the man veered suddenly, running right toward them. Keep out! I got hit with the keep out, which means I cannot progress the story until I progress another character's story, because they are relevant. So let's progress it. Alright. Okay, let's dump this trash. He looked around to see if there was a garbage bin nearby. Huh? A man had become... For real. It's so tough. A man had come up beside the girl. And just wait, bruh, because the start is a little slow. Once we really get into it... Oh man, it's freaking goated. He was dressed in black and he wasn't Japanese. Looked like the guy was having a conversation. The girl nodded tensely as something the man's... Damn, bro's chopped as hell. Achi stared. Something tells me that's not her boyfriend. And just wait until you meet my goat, Jack, bruh. Such a goated character. The girl handed the attaché case over to the man. He took hold of it with his right hand and began walking briskly away. Whoa! A nearby homeless man suddenly leapt over Achi. What? Homeless man? Okay, it's just saying Sasayama. Suddenly, I thought he was going to explain what a homeless man was. Leapt over Achi and broke into a run as if he'd been waiting for this very moment. Sprinting alongside him. Red. Red is a keyword that lets me jump. This is kind of a heat mechanic too. So like Kano is so freaking true. Kano is at a keep out right now, but on Achi's story, there's a jump in, which I will do. But performing a jump from the screen, you can advance to a different part. Okay. Boom. Let's go, on it. Sasayama and Kamo elected. Okay, jump successful. In 428, you will often need to jump. Keywords, clear, keep out through the story. Tutorial method, okay. You can now use the time chart in the main menu. Okay. Tutorial done. Almost. But they never expected what happened next. With the case clutching both arms, the man suddenly veered, running toward them. What? He bolted. Kano whipped his costume. Glasses. Kano whipped off his costume glass. And followed in hot pursuit. Right, I forget. He doesn't actually look like that. At the crosswalk, the signal changed to red, and the flow of foot traffic abruptly halted. Just as quickly, hundreds of cars all lurched back in. Oh shit, there was no escape for the culprit now, or so it appeared. The converging cops showed their pace confidently. I was cornered. When the foreigner barreled straight into the intersection. Dodging the traffic, the mob of detectives came to a halt, not eager to rush into their deaths along with them. Kano, however, remained in hot pursuit, charging into the traffic at the crossing. Kano, are you crazy? Kano heard Sasayama shouting, but his feet kept carrying him onward. How did they even film that part? Because, there's like a documentary built into this game once you finish it, and it's pretty interesting, because they filmed everything, like, illegally, because they're, like, not allowed to, like, film and set up shit to film it, so they had to, like, have people on watch to make sure there was no cops around so that they could film the scenes. Which means, did they really just run out into the road, or did they just fake cars? I guess they could do that too. The shouts and sirens echoing all around him. Kano closed on one of the foreigners. Just a little closer. On the corner. Just a little closer and he'd be tackling range. He leaned forward preparing to pounce, his eyes fixed on the culprit's feet. It is pretty crazy, but it was now or never. Kano, back off! Don't take him down. It was Kuze shouting through Kano's earpiece. Huh? Kano hesitated in surprise. Had he really just been ordered not to apprehend the criminal? Let him go for now. The real perp is somewhere else. Perp is police jargon for perpetrator. Thanks. What had happened to the plan? He'd been told that all personnel were to secure the area ASAP? Didn't HQ want them to catch the perpetrator? Arrest team, stay on the foreigner's tail. Forensics team, get busy cross-referencing photos. Even if this foreigner was only an underling, hired for one task, the police had now tipped their hand. They'd been lying in wait. If they didn't lock things down now, a girl's life might be in stake. Kano recalled another maxim from his dick diary. But this thing has not been useful once. Always assume a worst-case scenario. If Kuze had told him to let this guy go, that implied he was counting on the team that was now in his position. But if the crook had planned a way to break through the police dragnet and escape with the ransom, and he succeeded, what was the right call? Should he take this guy down? Alright, what's the plan? Yeah, having to catch him, or letting everyone else go after him? Okay. Letting the perp escape now is too big of a risk. He had to catch this guy. The man darted down a narrow alleyway. Kano ran faster. The man sprinted through the side streets. Evidently, he knew his way around Shibuya pretty well. Someone's taking Hitomi! Kano recognized Kuze's trademark squawk immediately. Subject is male. He appears to be carrying a gun. He's fleeing in the direction of Meiji Dori. What? Kano could hardly believe it. Hitomi had been kidnapped. Oh, really? Had she been abducted by whoever had taken Maria? But why? Someone must have been waiting for the moment when the police took their eyes off her. Something's very wrong here. What in the world is going on? Kano saw that the road forked up ahead. The man with the attaché case ran to the left. If the man who'd taken Hitomi was headed toward Meiji Dori, there was a good chance he'd gone down one of the alleyways off to the right. Making a snap judgment, Kano told the detective behind him to follow the case snatcher, then turned and headed down the nearest alley. After darting through the side streets, he spotted a different man, another foreigner crossing an intersection. Damn, bro is hood irony. Are we for... Why is bro hood irony? Oh man. The man was dressed in black, just like the guy who grabbed the ransom money. Kuze is right, the kidnapper wasn't acting alone. But wait, something was amiss. Tomi isn't with him. Where was she? Kind of skidded around the corner, then stopped short. Oh shit. So freaking, yeah. The man in black was standing there, pointing a gun right at him. Before Kano could react, the man fired. Kano felt hot all over, as if he were on fire. All except for his cheek pressed against the asphalt and the palms of his hands. They felt so cold. There was nothing he could do, nothing that is except lie there and watch as his killer turned and walked away. Damn. Shot by a foreigner. Okay, so I reckon, we might have to choose to not follow him. Okay. Because his instructions had been clear. Let the other officers chase after this guy. How dare you! Kano had his own job to do. He broke off his pursuit, pointing the next wave of detectives in the direction the foreigner had fled. Kano had almost gotten close enough to get a good look at the guy's face. But if Kuze had ordered him to let the guy go, well, his boss should know what he was doing. The perp was someone else's problem now. He had just ceased his pursuit when Kuze's panicked voice sounded shrill in his ear. Eep, someone's taking to tell me! I recognized Kuze's trick. Uh-oh. Is this the same thing? Uh-oh. I fear... maybe it's different. I might have to do something on Achi's side. He spotted a different man. Bro's hood irony. Yeah, I'm still getting killed. Okay, great. Okay. Let's come right here. Pause. But now we won't jump. Then seemingly from everywhere, a whole bunch of other guys went into motion. First one, then another, a third, a fourth, a fifth, over a dozen now. What the heck? Clearly something big was going down. Were they after the attaché case? Within moments, Achi lost sight of them all through the crowd. With that many people chasing him, the guy with the case was sure to get caught, but wait, what about that girl? Achi turned back around. The girl was still there. She was staring in the direction that the man who'd taken the case had gone, a worried expression on her face. Ooh, another choice. Ask her what's going on? It would probably be a mistake to intrude. What do you reckon? Okay. But she couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. Maybe she should have talked to her and asked what's going on. But just as he was making up his mind, a middle-aged man in ratty business suit shuffled awkwardly over to her first. Was there something wrong with one of his legs? He was using a cane to walk. Bro, he's creasing his Vans! Then one of his hands slipped into his jacket pocket. Achi could scarcely believe his eyes. What? A revolver? Is it gonna... A revolver? Bro, I know what a revolver is. Suddenly, a young man came running through the crowd. Seeing the man with the cane turned his... For real, on-camera crease is crazy. With the cane turned on his heel and vanished in the scramble. Something big was going down. What is all this? The young man was closing in on the girl, expression grim. This guy's up to no good. Spring into action. Right, so I don't know if that was the right choice. He freaking aerial kicked him, and now they're fighting. The hell is your problem? The hell is your problem? Fight. Let go of me. You let go of me. After you let go of me, you first. Don't you call me pal, man. Don't you call me man, pal. Neither man was willing to yield. Everyone's freaking guffawed. The crowd had parted to avoid the scuffle. Passerbys were staring from all sides. Well, crap. I actually got a sudden sinking feeling. What the hell am I even doing? Jumped in over my head as usual. His anger melted away. He loosened his grip. Without further argument, the other man let go of Achi's jacket. Damn. He got away. He dropped to his knees, dejected. Guy was clearly upset that she was missing. Achi actually felt kind of bad for him. He decided it'd be wise to leave while the guy's attention was elsewhere. Phew. He hurried back along the road to his house. The wind had gone out of sails, and he didn't feel much like cleaning up trash anymore. Ah, well. Guess I'll read some manga and go to bed. Better play it safe before the day got any worse. Bro's a true hero. Yeah, for real. Don't know what that was all about. So let's decide the other option. Oh shit. Another crazy day in Shibuya. I guess they're filming a film. It'd probably be a mistake to intrude. Yeah, I bet that's what this is. Some TV show about a kidnapping and the girl had to make some ransom handoff. And there's probably some actor lurking around here playing the suave, handsome detective. And she gave a chuckle and turned away. A soothing breeze blew by as wispy clouds drifted overhead. They picked a nice day for a shoot. Smiling inwardly, he resumed his trash-picking mission, wondering what other surprises the day would hold. A few moments later, he heard a loud bang. The scramble went into an uproar. Huh? Someone blow a tire? People were running from all directions to see what had made the sound. Oh, maybe they're shooting an action scene now. He was a bit curious, but he continued going. Maybe he'd head back to Yotsuya today and stretch his legs. Okay, that wasn't the right option either. It's best not to get distracted. There was trash that needed collecting. So what do I even do? I actually decided to go and collect it. He'll probably have a pretty uneventful day, which is all good. Oh, okay, wait. I know what to do. Maybe. Let me try this again. Let's follow him. And now that he's following him, now if I approach her, Kana won't be there? Maybe? Let's see. Let's follow her. Yeah. It does sometimes. But, I don't know if this is one of those cases. Let's see, if Kano still pulls up, then, revolver? Yeah, it's different now. With the single fluid motion, the man lifted up the gun and pointed it in the girl's direction. He was aiming right for her head. Damn, bro, in broad daylight. Huh? The girl had noticed the man with the cane now. Seeing the gun pointed right at her, she froze in fear. She didn't hesitate. Brah! Breaking into a full run, he tackled the gunman with all his might. Caught off guard, the man sprawled to the pavement. But the would-be assassin kept hold of his weapon and quickly scrabbled back to his feet. Achi knew he had to act fast. He grabbed the ashen-faced girl by the arm and attempted to drag her away. This way, he shouted. She stared at him, trembling like a startled animal. Come on, run! Finally, the girl snapped out of her daze and gave a fearful nod. Alright, where are we going? Police box or just out of here? It's a hard choice. Sure, we'll go to the police box. Let's go. Still pulling the girl by the hand, Achi headed for the police box outside the train station. But it was empty. There were always policemen staffing these things. Why did it have to be unmanned now? Achi flashed a worried glance behind him and saw the assassin in pursuit like a man possessed. Yikes, this is not good. There's nothing they could do but run. With the frightened girl in tow, Achi ran beneath the JR Yamanote line railway overpass. Don't worry, just trust me, he told her. But first... Wow, they sped past a convenience store where an employee was cleaning up the sidewalk. Here, take this, will ya? And she tossed over the bag of trash. Huh? Wait, what? This way, they slipped through the crowd and into a nearby back alley. This way's a dead end, the girl said breathlessly. Like I said, just trust me. Damn. Stopping abruptly, Achi kicked down a wooden plank covering a gap between two buildings, claiming a space that a person could fit through. See, we can get away through here. In you go. The girl just stood there looking terrified. What's the matter? Achi asked. Come on, we gotta hurry. But I... She looked at him as if he too was about to pull a gun on her. He could hardly blame her, after all. He was just some random guy who had turned up out of nowhere. But this was no time for dawdling. The man with the cane appeared at the end of the alley. They just stood there. He was gonna catch them. Okay, sweetheart, hear me out, he said in a rush. The name's Achiando. I live in the neighborhood and I'm not the kind of Sam I will buy when a girl is being chased by some killer. So please just trust me and I'll do my best to keep you safe. Bro thinks he's the main character. He hoped to look in his eyes. he hoped the look in his eyes could convince her he was being on the level. What? I must have read that wrong. After a painfully long moment, the girl nodded her acceptance. Right, let's start with this. Coca-Cola? They had paused beside an enormous stack of beverage crates. With a quick shove, so freaking true, with a quick shove, Achi knocked the whole pile down. Yeah, the fit is literally no sauce, bruh. Sending it cascading across the pursuer's path. Oh shit. Now that was a close call. The man with the cane was floundering, struggling to get past the fallen crates. My bad, man, Achi called out. Mind cleaning that up for me? The man scowled back at them and fumbled for his gun. Achi flashed him a wave goodbye, then slipped away between the building with the girl. Hurrying down a narrow alley, they emerged onto a side street lined with dive bars and clubs. Assuming the man with the cane hadn't given up, he would probably lie in wait on the path back to the main road. Achi decided their best bet was to try and stay inconspicuous rather than risk getting caught on the move. Guess we can lie low here for a bit, he said. He led the girl to the entrance of a tiny old hostess club. What? She followed him reluctantly. Achi flicked the switch inside the front door, and a chintzy chandelier glowed to life. He sat the girl down on the small sofa beside the counter. She gave him a worried look. Achi felt a pang of embarrassment as he realized what she must be thinking. Oh no, don't get the wrong idea. I'm not going to try any funny business. Someone I know used to run this place. It's not in business anymore, so I figure we're safe here. The girl chuckled at his evident discomfort. Alright then, she said. So we good? We're good. Okay, well, good. Achi made a vague attempt to straighten his disheveled clothes. Why does it matter, bro? Your clothes are ass. So how about some introductions? I'm Achi Endo, like I said earlier. You can just call me Achi. I'm Hitomi Osawa. You can call me Hitomi, I guess. With each new word out of Hitomi's mouth, Achi felt his heart sing. Bro, he's like Max and Grace in Street Fighter, bruh. Bro's instantly in love. She was charming, personable, just about everything about her was captivating. So freaking true. Achi had never met another girl like her. What? What? How do you know that already? Achi? Is something the matter? You were spacing out there for a bit. If she's JP, bruh, it's over. Achi shook his head to dispel his daze. Damn it. This is no time to get all starry-eyed. He needed to think of some way to keep her safe from the guy who was after her. Look, can you tell me what the heck is going on? Please, I need to know if I'm gonna help you. Alright, okay. I'm not really sure where to begin. Hitomi looked down, lost in thought. Apparently hers was a long story. Alright, she said at last. I guess I'll just explain things as they happened. Wait, hold up. Could you keep it as simple as you can? I mean, I'm not really the sharpest tool in the shed. Complicated explanations ain't exactly my strong suit. Okay, Hitomi chuckled. I'll try my best. She got comfortable and then started her story. Let's see the lore. So last night somebody abducted my sister. Okay, well, we already know this. The kidnapper demanded that I make the ransom handout personally. He told me to stand by the statue of Hachika in Shibuya at 10 o'clock in the morning and make the exchange, so I did. And this man came by and took the attaché case with the money. And then afterward... Whoa, I'm sorry, hold up a sec. Achi had suddenly lost the thread of the conversation. Lost the thread. Oh, that's actually kind of funny. Not funny, but freaking... If you lose the thread, you can... could you say that again, but like, simpler? Huh? Sure. I'm just having trouble following is all. I mean, is this the plot to some movie or soap opera? No, that's not... Or some kind of hidden camera show? This is real, this really happened. The look in Hitomi's eyes was dead serious. She's gotta be telling the truth. What would be the point of lying? And he had seen the case and the gunman himself. How much was the ransom, if you don't mind my asking? For real, she should have said that. She hesitated. 50 million yen. And she gave a whistle of amazement. Wow! The detectives told me that was a typical amount for a kidnapper to ask for. It's plenty, that's for sure. Okay, wait. How much is 50 million yen? Let me convert this. 50 million yen to US dollars. Oh my! It's $330,000. It's plenty. I guess there's good money in that sort of thing. What? Yeah, no, I was about to just comment on what the... What? Yeah, it's a lot. Bro, what the freak did he just... I guess there's good money in that thing. Bro, her sister just got kidnapped. He realized his blunder. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have put it that way. He fidgeted awkwardly and Hitomi looked away. I'm an idiot. Give me sympathy. But okay, I think I get this kidnapping thing. So I'm guessing those guys who chased the guy who took the ransom were undercover cops. He replayed the scene in his head. But then, kidnapper took the attaché case and ran, right? So if you're empty-handed, why'd the guy with the cane come after you? I'm honestly not sure. He told me his words trailed off. This was clearly difficult for her to talk about. Anyway, we probably should get you to the police as soon as we... No, we can't do that! Tommy's tone was resolute. I can't take this to the police. Why? Why not? She waited for an answer, but none came. After a long, awkward silence, she stood up from her seat. I really appreciate the help, but I should go now. She gave Achi a deep bow. Nuh-uh! Hold on, what do you mean go? Go where? He hurried to intervene as she headed for the door. I don't want to cause you any more trouble. I'll figure the rest out on my own somehow. Hey! I said, hold on! Tommy ignored him and opened the door, and their argument came to an abrupt halt. Is he just there? Oh, shit! Close the door, bruh. Standing there was the man with the cane, his revolver in his hand. To be continued! Alright, yeah, no, okay. Basically, the story takes place over a day, and it's separated into hours, and, you have to complete everybody's hour before you can start the next one. So, this one's from 10 a.m. to 11. So, Achi's is done. Now we gotta get frickin' Kano's done. Okay, so he's telling the foreigner... Wait, what could possibly change, though? How is he still not gonna get frickin' destroyed? Oh, okay, wait. Just the heck, where is this guy heading? Halfway across the bridge, the man stopped abruptly. Bro, might be Aura. Okay, I need to fill up my water. My throat's really dry. Give me one quick second. But we're about to reach the freaking crazy. One second. I'm back. Also, I'm just remembering. So Rashid just died? Or did like something happen where he didn't die in that freaking like this in that one story? Or did Dawson just actually vaporize him? Huh. Right, okay. Oh man. Height roughly 190. Age 30 seconds. Hair dark brown. Clothing all black. He might be British. A moment later, the man flashed a triumphant sneer, and he held up the attaché case. Before Kano could even yell, "Stop!" it was already too late. I thought the case was great. The man threw the attaché case down the roadway below. No! Panicked, Kano peered over. A man on a motorcycle was waiting beneath the bridge. I've been had. Kano bit his lip hard. Damn it! Kano sprinted back down the bridge, hearing the bike's engine roar to life. He had to make a run for it. I don't think he's gonna be able to be that fast. Descending the stairs, four at a time. He leapt down the roadway, but the bike sped out of reach and roared away in the direction of Yoyogi, leaving Kano in its dust. Looking back up the overpass, he saw the man who'd thrown the attaché case running away. He handed the money off to someone else. He's currently on a motorcycle heading toward Yoyogi. His report to Kuse complete, Kano slumped down in dismay. The cops had played right into the criminal's hands. Now the crooks were getting away and people's lives were in danger. Was there any greater failure for a policeman? Staring off to the distance where the man who'd thrown his case had disappeared, Kano gritted his teeth. To be continued. Oh, damn. Okay. We're heading on to the next hour. This is where it gets crazy. This is where it gets goated. Finish reading for the hour. 4 to 8, you'll make your way through all the protagonists' stories in a parallel like this. This is too in-depth for real. The next hour can begin. Alright. We at the next hour. Tough. Now we've got 5 characters. This is the end of the tutorial for this part of the story. You can reread previous tutorial message with... Okay, yeah. We finished the tutorial. Alright. We got the crew. Freaking Osawa thinks he's tough, bruh. Alright. Who do I go? Crazy ass lineup, bruh. Alright, bet. Yorikawa's tough, bruh. The Super Cup 90 race down the Route 2 as a motorcycle. The speedometer remained at a steady 60 kilometers per hour. Pumping the gas harder was no use. This was as fast as the bike would go. Minoru Kawa shouted as he sped along. Damn it, I am not letting you die! He jerked the handlebars and blew past the truck on the inside. The driver scowled at him as he shot by. You maniac! You trying to get yourself killed? Just the opposite, Minoru Kawa shouted back. I'm saving lives! The stoplight ahead turned red, cutting him off at the intersection. Oh, come on! He had no choice but to slam on his brakes. His agitation boiled over as he waited for the signal to change again. How long is this thing gonna stay red? Hurry up already. He brought the bike right up to the very edge of the line, keeping the engine revved like a dragster ready to peel out. Not on time is not in my dictionary. The light turned red. Then Norikawa's own light turned green at last. He hit the accelerator. His engine died. Huh? Oh, come on, what the hell? Car horns blared angrily behind him. In a fury, he pulled his bike over the side of the road. No matter what he did, the engine refused to turn over. Was the problem with the spark plug, or maybe the battery? Oh, whatever it was, he didn't have the time to figure it out now. With tears in his eyes, he left the bike, his companion of 10 years, abandoned on the roadside. He was about to break into a run when he saw a taxi dead ahead letting out a passenger. He hurried to hop into the cab. Just head for Shibuya Station. I'll let you know exactly where when we get closer. The taxi driver nodded coolly. Of course, sir. 10 minutes! Huh? I need you to get me there in 10 minutes! The driver grimaced. I'm afraid getting there in 10 minutes is a bit... 15 then! Sir, that's still... Look, that's all the time I can afford. Assuming traffic conditions cooperate, sir, then maybe... I can't make any promises. Minarikawa looked at the driver ID photo above the fare meter. His name was Hachiro Kimizuka. Holy shit, wait, he looks like a dude I know. Who does he look like? Oh. Oh. I'm trying to think. He looks like my cousin. Like, exactly like him. Holy moly. Except if my cousin was Japanese. He was middle-aged, felt... Damn. Maybe he's just got like a freaking generic off face. It's very symmetrical though. He looks a little rough around the edges. Mr. Kimizuka, I chose you for this. You can do it. Chose me, sir? I'm pretty certain we met by chance. Okay, sure. I suppose you could put it that way. Did he just whip him? Anyhow, can we get going? Right, Kimizuka said with a faint sigh. I'll see what I can do. The taxi driver's my goat, bruh. The taxi pulled away at a decent clip. Norikawa's frantic journey had started 20 minutes earlier. He'd been at home working on an interview piece. He clucked his tongue in annoyance as the ringing phone broke his train of thought. Why did someone always call right when the words were flowing? If he didn't keep getting interrupted, he probably could wrap his piece up in no time. Be quiet! He pointed at the telephone as he yelled. I'm writing here. But his shouting did nothing to silence the ringing. He didn't have much choice but to pick it up. Norikawa speaking. There was no response. Hello? He hesitated, ready to hang up. Was this a prank call? It's me. It's Toyama. It was Teruo Toyama, the president of Heaven Publishing Company. Oh, what do you want? If this is about work, I'm already booked pretty full. He'd taken work from Heaven Publishing on several occasions, but the pay was hardly competitive. Lately, he'd been turning them down a lot, so he hadn't heard from Toyama in a while. No, this isn't work-related. Then what do you want? I'm kind of pressed for time here, working on some copy. Norikawa was in no mood to beat around the bush. It seemed like every conversation he had with Toyama went like this. Oh, you're busy? That's good. Busy's good when you're a freelancer. Toyama sounded unusually sympathetic. Norikawa found it off-putting. I hear sales have been good on your end, he said cautiously. With this month's 4-Star General Gossip and all. 4-Star General Gossip was a monthly magazine, Heaven Publishing's flagship publication. It had a small circulation and for the most part flew under the radar. But once in a while they'd land some big scoop and sell like crazy. This month's edition had come with a free scratch card, a gimmick that had moved 100,000 copies with ease. 5 winning symbols in a row wins 100,000 yen, was it? Norikawa asked. A weak moist sound came through the receiver. Huh? Baffled, Norikawa listened more closely. It came again, then again. It kind of sounded like sobbing. Mr. Toyama, are you crying? There was another soft sob and then yet another. What's going on? Oh, what's going on? Where are you? Norikawa asked. At the office. Toyama managed. He let out another mewling whimper. What's the matter? It's nothing. It's gotta be something. Come on, what is it? Toyama gave no reply. Mr. Toyama, you still there? Silence. What is it? What happened? Look, doesn't tell me anything. What the hell is going on? Toyama squeaked out a drawn-out whine. Okay, I'm sick of this. I'm hanging up now. Norikawa was about to break the connection when he heard Toyama murmur. The only thing I could do now is die. The taxi lurched to a sudden stop as the driver slammed on the brakes. What the? Minorikawa jump scare, bruh. Holy schmoly. Minorikawa pitched forward, his face smacking against the back of the seat of the front of him. Kimizuka stuck his head out of the window. Careful, buddy, he shouted at someone in the street ahead. You're gonna get yourself killed. Oh! It's him! Minorikawa blinked, the stars from his eyes, and saw a man moving alongside the cab. The guy grabbed onto the handle of the back door. Please, I need you to let me have this cab. No way, Minorikawa snapped. Just who did this guy think he was? It's my goat. Please, I'm begging you here. Look, I'm in a hurry, pal. Get your own cab. I know how ridiculous this must sound, but please, this is really urgent. Urgent? Yes, it's a matter of life or death. Please. The guy did look pretty desperate. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm dealing with something urgent too. Then let me ride with you. I'll pay for the whole fare. My entire future's on the line here. The guy sure was persistent. Maybe he was telling the truth, but Minorikawa had problems of his own. Sorry, buddy. It's life or death on my end, too. I gotta look after me and mine. Right, so sorry to trouble you. Finally, the guy gave up and shuffled away. Guess it couldn't have been that much of a life-ending crisis after all. Minorikawa checked for his watch. Damn it! That just cost us 5 minutes. 5 minutes? I'll try to make it up, sir. The driver called back. The taxi lurched into motion, the engine quickly revving up to speed. Speedy ass. Once inside the building, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. No, it's the opposite of One Piece pacing, bruh. Because One Piece pacing is, it takes 10 hours for something to happen. It takes like 10 hours for 5 minutes to happen. This took like 3 seconds for 5 minutes to happen. It's reverse One Piece. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of the 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama! Hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted, bang, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and then kicked the door in. Whoa! The sight as he stepped into the office filled him with horror. What? Minorikawa clutched the sides of his head. Too late. Oh no. If only I'd gotten here a little sooner. Freaking Kano, bruh! Just 5 minutes. That was freaking Kano, bruh. Alright. Who should I do next? Should we go fix Kano's, or should we go to someone new? Because Kano freaked up Minorikawa. But we got many new characters. Alright, let's move Kano. As he wandered through the back alleys, Kano gritted his teeth. Going after the guy on the bike had been a bad judgment call. By the time he got back up onto the pedestrian overpass, the man who'd thrown the attaché case was almost out of sight. Kano prided himself on being fleet of foot, but he knew he would never even catch it. He followed the culprit as far as the alleys, but he lost him completely. All he could do was hope one of his colleagues caught him. Kuze's voice cracked through the earpiece. Mobile Commander Center calling all units. The suspect on the motorcycle has handed off the case to an accomplice in Miyashita Park, another foreigner. For real? One thing immediately struck him strange. Why hand the case off to someone else at all? Why not escape on the bike? The man with the motorcycle dumped the bike and fled on foot. We've retrieved the bike and run the plate, and we've determined it was a stolen vehicle. What is... Stolen vehicle is a vehicle that's stolen. Right, they're explaining how license plates work. We still don't have enough details to positively ID the suspect. The suspect now carrying the case is headed through Dogenzaka, also on foot. We got him under observation. Dogenzaka, huh? I wasn't too far from where Kano was. Looks like we're dealing with a foreign crime syndicate that was familiar with Shibuya. All units head, but do not, I repeat, do not attempt to apprehend the suspect with the case. Let's follow him. Kano nodded. Without knowing more about the crooks, Missouri letting this guy go for now was probably the only right call. I just want you all to know one last thing. His tone grew more solemn. Whatever happens, I know I can count on each and every one of you. Don't disappoint me. Over now. Okay. Kano had the feeling that was meant for him. It's now or never. Let's go. Kano headed for Dogenzaka. Kano pulled his cell phone and was, Bro, that was not the time to read your text. It was Rumi calling. She knew full well he wasn't supposed to take private calls while he was working on a case. Maybe it was an emergency. He decided to pick up. Rumi? I'm sorry, are you in the middle of something right? Yeah. Kinda. Is this an emergency? Well, yeah. So I'm in Shibuya right now, and... Shibuya? Why'd you have to be in Shibuya now, of all times? So, my father came down from Nagano all of a sudden? What? Rumi's father, Shizuo, had been staunchly opposed to the two of them getting married. Kano had visited his home many times, but the man had never even deigned to meet him. Yeah, he told me to tell you he wants to meet with you. What? Now? Kano blurted the words out with more alarm than he'd intended. I told him you were busy working, but he said he'd wait. This can't be happening, Kano whimpered to himself. I'm sorry, I know he can be demanding. That's not the issue. Her dad offering to wait made it harder for him to refuse. Alright, Kano said. But I'll have to call you back later, okay? I really am sorry. I'll be at a cafe called Lautrec. It's by the train station. Rumi hung up. For a long moment, Kano stood in a daze, staring at a phone. As if keeping up the case wasn't stressful enough. Bro, that is... yeah. At last he stumbled into motion, but even as he scoured Dogenzaka for any sign of criminal, his mind remained fixed on the meeting with Rumi's dad. There was no way of knowing when he'd be done with his casework today. But he could he really pass up a once in a... Odds are, this will not be the only one. Opportunity to get our father's approval. Yeah. This is a big problem. Maybe he could slip away for just a bit. No! There are plenty of detectives still telling the Bro. In 15 minutes or so. Alright. Thoughts? Should we go meet up with Rumi and Shizuo? Or do we focus on the job? Alright. Now or never. His future happiness. Depending on him winning over Shizuo. He might not have the opportunity later if the kidnapping case wound up going south. It's true, it's very important. He'd just have to make sure he didn't linger too long. The best way to save as much time as possible. When he caught sight of a taxi... Oh man. He stepped out into the street to flag the cab down. The station wasn't too far away, but it would be faster to take a car than run there. The taxi screeched to a halt. Careful, buddy, shouted the cab driver through the open window. You're gonna get yourself killed. Uh-oh. Well, crap, we hadn't considered that the cab might already be taken. Please, let me in, please. No way. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. He needed to see his freaking He needed to meet his girl's dad and ended up having his freaking friend kill himself. That's insane. Kano, bro, it's not that big of a... It wasn't even life or death. Let me ride with you. It's life or death. Right, sorry. Taxi sped. Scanned the area looking for other cabs. Instead, he spotted the man with the attaché case. I don't know. It was a stroke of dumb luck, but I wasn't going to lose sight of him now. He decided to follow. The perp was heading where Yamate Dori joined. Maybe he was playing a getaway car. No, wait, hold on. If that were the plan. Yeah, what's happening? Because freaking... That's not right, because I can't just have Minori call his homie die. If that were the plan, why would the gang have ditched the motorcycle earlier? Kano started telling the man, wrecking his brain all the while. The suspect turned down the narrow road. Is he just gonna pop him in the face again? What in the world was going on? I started to feel like they were messing with him. Kano raided... True. I don't think there's any point seeing where this guy leads us. I don't know. Maybe... Keep watching him. This is a waste of time. What are they going to describe wireless? Wireless is something without wires. Kano's argument was cut short. There's no way it is. As the man... He saw the man hand off the case to yet another foreigner. Again? How many times are these criminals going to pull this trick? They broke into two groups. Kano followed the man with the attaché case and eventually led him... Rumi and Shizuya should be waiting at the cafe. Tried to remember the name. Lao Trek. Kept his eyes open for a place. Before long, he spotted a cafe. Its large plate glass window offered a view of the cozy interior. The sign out front read Lao Trek. Looks like this was the place. The man with the case was at the intersection waiting for the light to change. Kano took the opportunity to peer and saw... Oh! He spotted Rumi right away. She was facing away from him, so the man seated across from her must be her father. Kano realized he'd never seen a picture of him. Shizuo grew organic produce up in Nagano nowadays, but until 2 years ago, he'd been a detective with the investigation division. Rumi looked up to her father for his distinguished police career, and always spoke quite highly of him. Kano had figured that if he became a policeman... Wait, what? He only became a policeman for a heist? Are we for real? It was this simple impulse that led him to join the Bro! He had also figured that public servants could stay afloat even in times of recession? He literally... He did. His physical training would serve him well in such a line of work. Once he was a policeman, he thought he could approach Shizuo with his head held high and ask for his blessing in marrying his daughter. But after Rumi graduated from university, Shizuo had up and retired from the police work. Even Rumi didn't know why he made the decision. Kano had traveled to Nagano many times to ask Shizuo for permission to marry her. But the only response he ever got is, "I'm not giving my daughter to any cop." Kano had never even gotten past the intercom before her father turned him away. Years on the force had nearly made Kano lose sight of what had driven him to become a policeman in the first place. Highs. Wow. Now the chance to meet Shizuo had finally come. He peered into the cafe. Across from Rumi sat an older man. Just who was this hard fellow? It took a lot to rattle Kano, but this guy looks scary. Could this really be his sweet little Rumi's father? The prospect of him meeting with him later filled Kano with sudden dread. The man went into the station and stood before the ticket machine. Looked like he was planning on boarding a train. A scene from a popular movie about a kidnapping sprang into Kano's mind. But the crook had made off with the ransom money after he was tossed out the window of a train. But this guy managed to get outside Dragnet and pull a stunt like that. Looks like the suspect is going to board the train, Kano informed Kuze over the wireless. Yeah, this definitely cannot be the right ending. Make sure you stay on his tail. Apparently Kuze still wanted to string the purple on for a bit. We've got the lizards ready for Japanese motorcycle squads. Okay, that one I didn't know. We'll reestablish our dragnet around whatever station he gets off. A man purchased a ticket and passed through the gate. There was no way to tell which station he bought a ticket for, but it looked like he was heading clockwise along the Yamanote line loop. Kind of used his prepaid card and made his way through the ticket gate as well. An announcement chime signaled the imminent arrival of a train up the platform. The man made his way up the stairs looking calm and compound. He showed no sign of checking for pursuers. Kano hurried after him. The man stopped at the very edge of the platform to await the train. This MF is hood irony to the max. It's so funny. Not ideal. There was no way for Kano to get close without sticking out like a sore thumb. The train glided up to the platform. The man gave a quick look around and he stepped inside. Kano followed. Trains on the Yamanote line didn't stop for long, and soon they were on their way. Glancing around, Kano noticed other MPD investigators who had slipped aboard the train as well. The suspect stood behind the driver's compartment, staring contemplatively at the scenery outside. The man's composure only served to rattle Kano more. The man in a gaudy necktie, oh, this MF, walked past Kano, talking on his cell phone. Yes, everything's going fine on this end, he said. There's no need to worry. In his other hand, he carried the same sort of attaché case as the man they were telling. He headed right. I don't really remember, but... Well, now that's not suspicious. Kano leaned his head suddenly, straining to make out what he could of the phone conversation at the end of the course. Yes, of course. 225 pages, all fully proofread. 225? Article 225 of the Penal Code of Japan details kidnapping for profit. Oh. That was police jargon for kidnapping. Was this guy in cahoots with the kidnapper? Maybe the criminals had planned an attaché case swap. Kinda watched the newcomer like a hawk, too. But rather than making contact with the suspect, the man turned around and strolled back the way he'd come. He hadn't done anything suspicious at all. Yes, right. Understood. Kano stole a glimpse of the man's face as he passed. He stopped and looked at Kano, seemingly aware that he was being watched. Kano decided to... Do I stare him or be nonchalant? It's a tough choice. Okay. Kano decided to stare him down. My apologies, the man said. He shut his phone with a click. I know it's rather rude to talk on one's cell phone when you're on a train. That's just common decency. The man affected a smile, then headed back to the car from which he'd come. Sheesh, guess I overreacted. What the? You gotta stop staring at everyone. An oddly just passenger murmured into Kano's ear. Blend into your surroundings. It's freaking Sasayama, bruh, of course. Sasayama, when did you get here? Go away. His partner had somehow found time to change his disguise. The steely expression on his face was at odds with the anime nerd get-up. Kano had seen Sasayama's disguise himself. That's plenty of things. Okay, wait. Oh, it's a video. Okay, should we see? It's quite rare for Sasayama to actually wear a suit. On the rare occasions when he does, and he's walking the halls of this... Okay, let's see his costume design. Santa, nerd, gangster, yakuza, that guy, whatever that is. Tough. Chef, musician, samurai, and astronaut, to name a few, but this was a new extreme even for him. When he first joined the force, Kano had found Sasayama's custom antics amusing, wondering where he managed to find his outfits, but lately his quirks have become tedious. You like the ocean? Huh? Never mind. Sasayama pulled a small bottle from his breast pocket. Drink this while you can. Guessing you haven't eaten. Huh? What's this? The least I could do. He handed Kano the bottle, then slipped away into the next compartment. He'd pulled an all-nighter and hadn't eaten. So he was glad to have something. He took a sip. So freaking true. Whatever this was, it was bland. It almost didn't taste like anything. So what had Sasayama given him? Ah, what the heck, anything's better than nothing. He brought the bottle to his lips and sucked the contents down. He suddenly got a massive head rush. He felt a heat like a burning that spread from his insides through his whole body. No, that wasn't right. It was an ache. It was a ferocious ache. A burning that spread from his insides to his finger, and there was pain. A numbing that spread from his insides all the way down. So freaking true. Burning, aching, hurting. Burning, aching, hurting. Burning, aching, hurting. Twitchy, izzy, dizzy, sleepy, chilly, willy-nilly. This was not good. This was super duper not good. He broke into a cold sweat. His forehead drenched, his body damp, clammy all over. He felt his grip on his consciousness slipping. Sasayama, what the hell did you do to me? With bleary eyes, he squinted to read the writing on the bottle. But, after scanning a few letters, Kano blacked out. Sasayama, why? It's the least he could do. Alright, so, Kano is not in a good spot right now. I wonder if Minorikawa is still... Yeah, I think... I wonder if both... I guess I could... Look away nonchalantly. It's the same thing. Alright, Oop. Okay. So, I could try... I guess there's also... Oh, shit. Should I do a different character? Or should I see what this choice does? No, it still says bad end. If you get to the point where it changes, that'll go away. So I think we actually do gotta go with this choice. Maybe it'll lead to the same outcome, but like the same outcome for Kano, but not Minorikawa. Let's see. No, I've got a job to focus on. The hell had he been thinking? A girl's life was on the line. Running Rumi was more important to him than anything, but now wasn't the time. Besides, now that he thought about it, running out on a critical investigation to meet with the old man probably wasn't going to score many points. Yeah, Rumi's dad didn't strike him smooth with proof shirking one's responsibilities. Kano would just have to wrap up this kidnapping case a little ahead of schedule. Then he could have a proper sit-down. As he considered his plan, he caught sight of the man. Okay, yeah. Alright. Should I return to Minorikawa now? Now that the bad end is gone on him now. Alright, let's see what's changed up. What? Yeah, sure. The only thing I can do now is die. Alright. Couple of the... There we go. 10 minutes on the dot, the driver announced. Minorikawa righted himself and looked out the window. Shibuya Station. I knew you could do it, Mr. Kimizuka. He He told the driver how to get to Heaven Publishing. It shouldn't be more than 5 minutes further. Sir, if I may ask, just what are you in such a hurry over? Son of a bitch! I beg your pardon? Kimizuka bristled. Not you, the guy who's waiting on me. Morikawa said, I'm gonna give that son of a bitch a piece of my mind. The multi-tenant building where Heaven Publishing had its offices came into view. The taxi stopped outside. Minorikawa opened the door as he hurriedly reached his wallet, then he stopped. What if the worst had come to pass and he needed to take Toyama to a hospital? Should he have the taxi wait here? Or would it be better to call an ambulance? Sir, is there a problem? The driver asked. Oh man, what do we do? Do we have him wait, or do we... Okay. Wait here, I'll be right back. Minorikawa was out of the cab in an instant, running for the building. Once inside, he avoided the elevator in favor of rushing up the stairs. Heaven Publishing rented out the 3rd and 4th floors. In all likelihood, Toyama would be at the editing department of the 4-star General Gossip on the 4th floor. When he got there, however, the door was locked. Mr. Toyama, hey, Mr. Toyama! He shouted and banged, but there was no reply. Something was seriously wrong. Minorikawa took a deep breath and kicked down the door. Whoa! Oh. Toyama was standing on a stool about to slip his head through a new step into the ceiling. What the hell are you doing? Minorikawa lunged for Toyama. Damn, he beat the shit out of him. The two men crashed to the floor in a tangled heap. A pile of clutter slid off a nearby desk and fell on top of them. Minorikawa, what are you doing? Toyama whined. Dragging himself back to his feet proved something of a challenge. That's what I'd like to know. Maybe, yeah, probably, actually. Minorikawa's fury was mounting. What the hell is this all about? He jabbed an accusing finger at the noose hanging from the ceiling. Oh, that? One of the fluorescent lights died. I was just swapping it out. What? Don't you feed me that bowl? What was that phone call about? A business? About how the only thing you could do was die? Tell me. Just a joke. Toyama curled his lips to a faint semblance of a smile. Minorikawa wasn't buying it, but he didn't have time to press the issue. Cute little voice echoed through the editing office. Daddy, I'm back from the store. A little girl came walking in carrying a length of rubber gas tubing. It was Toyama's 5th grade daughter, Hana. 10-year-old daughter. She was born at the hospital. There was fireworks. She's named Fireworks. Minorikawa started. Toyama? You were planning on using that hose too? Bro, this dude's evil. He got his freaking daughter to get him. He hesitated to end his sentence with, gas yourself to death. Well, I guess so. What the hell? Well, you know, it's almost gas heater season after all. The hell it is. It's a beautiful sunny April day outside. Well, you know how sensitive I am to the cold. This was getting truly ridiculous. Minorikawa got right up in his face. Listen, just explain to me what the heck is going on, okay? He kept his voice low, but his eyes were steely. Hana clung tightly to her father, gazing worriedly up at the two men. No, it's just... Yeah, especially because she was supposed to come in right then? Meaning he was planning on her finding him? Like, that's messed. Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh of resignation. Damn. Yeah, okay, you already explained this. Okay, we're at a Minorikawa Keep out. We've got Osawa we haven't done. We've got Tama we haven't done. We still haven't done Achi. Kano's not in a situation of... Who should we do next? Osawa! Wealth, status, honor. None of these mean anything to me. All I want is a peaceful life. To put worry behind me. To stay calm and serene. To be free of worldly concerns. Wait, Osawa? Free at any cost. That name strikes a bell. Cheery rhythm pumped from the CD player set up against the study wall. It's the latest hit from Aya Kamiki, the songwriter sensation who was blowing up in the pop charts. Kenji Osawa reached for the stereo remote on his desktop. He ratcheted the volume up a little louder. So that's my favorite line in the song. It freaking says, "Everything is be alright." That's so funny. He looked like the sort of man who'd be more interested in classical music, but in fact he was a huge fan of the girl rock popular with middle schoolers. This guy. Closing his eyes, he swayed back and forth in time with the music, humming his favorite lyrics under his breath. His movements faltered, it's no use. Aya's voice usually soothed whatever ailed him, but today even she couldn't help. Today Osawa was a complete wreck, in both body and mind. This song was made specifically for this game, which is kind of crazy. Mounds of paperwork were scattered across the desktop in his study. All of it about viruses and vaccines. It had only been a week since he'd returned from a business trip to his company's branch office in the US. Yeah, I actually met with him, and he was slated to go back in another week's time. There was a truly staggering amount of work he needed to get through while he was at home. He picked up one of the papers, glanced at it aimlessly, then tossed it back onto the desk. Slumping back in his chair, he let out a long, deep sigh. He was in no mental state to work right now. For real. Giant-ass nuclear biohazard symbol. A faint knock at the door barely roused him from his torpor. "Director, may I come in?" It was his vice director, Mamoru Tanaka. "Sure." Doors open. Tanaka came into the study. "From Persona 3. I know it's not a great time, but..." Osawa could barely make out his words. He tapped the remote, lowering the volume of the music. Tanaka continued apologetically. A call came in from the lab. They're hoping for a response to the email they sent yesterday. "I'm sure they don't need it today." "Apparently they do need an answer as soon as possible, sir." I did ask them to give you some more time, but..." "I see," Osawa said wearily. "Alright then." Yeah, he kinda does. Tanaka dipped his head slightly and slipped out the room. Osawa contemplated his colleague, Tanaka. Tanaka was a man he could truly depend on. He has enough of his own work to do. He didn't need to come here again today, but he did. They'd been working in close concert ever since Osawa had gone back to Japan. Without Tanaka's support, there would be no way he would be in a mindset to do any work at all right now. Sliding up to his computer, Osawa opened his email program and started answering the work-related messages. He reported on his business travel expenses, offered his opinions on capital investments, requested confirmation on current medicinal stockpiles. He worked with bleak detachment. None of this meant anything to him right now. Then a new email appeared in his inbox. The sender was identified simply as A. The subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. The message was blank, but there appeared to be multiple images attached. Ordinarily, Osawa would have deleted a message like this immediately, assuming that it contained some kind of virus. But the word South Africa drew his attention. Could this possibly be related to? He couldn't help to wonder. For a long moment, he hovered the cursor over one of the image files. At last, as if he spurred on by the upbeat rhythm in his ears, he double-clicked the mouse. What is this? The grainy photograph showed a large room with a dozen or so people laid out in beds. It appeared to be some sort of medical ward. Osawa felt a strange flutter in his chest. He quickly opened another image. What the frick? That's actually terrifying. Get that shit off my screen. This one showed a close-up of one of the patients in his bed. Large red blotches covered his face. A large volume of blood appeared to be dripping from his ears and nostrils. A cold shudder ran up Osawa's spine. What the hell? These symptoms. Osawa opened up the remaining image files. Each new picture showed another for real. Oh my gosh. Another one of the patients. They all appeared to be teetering on the brink of death. There was no doubt about it. These people were infected with the UA virus. UA virus belongs to a family of Fivlaridae. Alright, whatever. It's a virus. But how? Questions tumbled through Osawa's mind. His fingers tapped out a quick message. He doubted he'd get a response, but he might as well try. Who are you? Where are these images? I don't know. I don't know. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. Oh, how beautiful. Right, so it's not real. The UA virus got its name from a Swahili word for flower. Supposedly, this was based on the fact that the propagated form of the virus resembled the petals of a flower. Despite the flowery name, however, the disease was anything but pretty. UA didn't just mean flower. It also meant to kill. However, there is an anime that takes place in the same universe as this, which is really weird because they're like entirely different things. But that one does take place in South Africa before the events of this, so I assume it's probably about that. And as the name suggested, the virus had a mortality rate of 100%! Moreover, there was a very short incubation period between infection, the onset of symptoms, and death. True. There's also, it's supposed to be pretty solid, but, there's also, after you beat the game, which I might have to stream those too, there's 3 like sub-stories. One of them is just like a silly one about Mean Clean, the freaking evil like the scary water bottle on Achi's shirt. One of them is about something I can't tell you yet because it's spoilers, but it's really freaking good. Like, that shit had me crying, bruh. And the other one is about that story. So it's part of the, like, that also plays into the anime. But yeah, so it could be interesting. I haven't watched all the way through, but because it's kind of obscure, but the disease's very existence had been kept hidden from public knowledge. Osawa's computer chimed to signify the arrival of a new email. The sender was A. Wait, let me... Yeah, it came out after the game, so it is, it is, like, you like, yeah, like, I don't know, whatever, but, I mean, it seems pretty solid. But yeah, gotta finish this game and the book tie-in, or whatever it is, the side story tie-in. Okay, here to open the message. Once again, the subject line read, 1 year ago, South Africa. Your crimes. Osawa stared at those two words. My crimes? That left him only with further questions. He looked again at the images from the previous email. What makes any of this my crimes? You could see that the patient's bleeding was severe. He estimated that several hours had passed since the onset of the disease. It won't be long before their lives were cut short. To feel that agony, that suffering, and the perish, am I to blame for that? Another faint knock came at the door. Darling, do you have a moment? It was his wife, I, from Monkey Ball. Which one? Yes, come in, or close the mail program. Freaking I from Monkey Ball. Okay. Yes, come in. Damn, she looks evil. I stepped into the study, the room filled with the scent of her perfume. Have you reconsidered the whole America thing, she asked. This again, Osawa thought solemnly to himself. Please, he said, can we not discuss the... Yeah, for real. Can we not discuss this right now? If not now, then when? You know this isn't a decision just to make on your own. On his latest business trip, a major American pharmaceutical firm had attempted to headhunt him, asking to join them and be among the top researchers in the world. The money and prestige held no interest for him, and he was reluctant to turn his back on Okoshi Pharmaceutical after his many years of service. Nonetheless, he was intrigued by the offer. Bro, I forget how good this game freaking gets at the end, bro. The climax is crazy. It would mean the chance to conduct his virus research in a much better funded environment. Taking the job would necessitate relocating to the U.S., however. When he'd mentioned the possibility of emigrating to she'd shot the idea down on the spot. Her opposition was understandable. Ai's father, Suguru Makino, was a member of Okoshi Pharmaceutical's board of directors. No way was he going to let Osawa jump ship to another company. Darling, please. I drew in closer to him. Think about it from my perspective. If you leave for America, what am I supposed to tell my father? He'd gotten so used to it, the grating whine of hers. Wait, a few posts Kim saying what? Saying the show? Yeah, yeah, you might have to watch it after this. Not after the stream, but after you finish the game, or after I guess I finish the game. If I finish it, which I should, because it's fire. But yeah, it does have spoilers for the game, I believe. Have you considered what might happen to Oko? Yeah, no, it's true, because there's actually very important stuff. So, oh yeah, the game is a 10 out of 10 for real. Yeah, it's freaking gas. Like, I mean, it's kind of cool right now, but oh my, the back half of it is insane. Like, holy moly. We can discuss that. Wait, yeah, we can discuss that once this is all finished. Osawa kept his voice as low as he could. You do remember that you're a director, right? I said. You have responsibilities. Stop thinking about yourself so much. The sour look I turned into parted. Damn, bruh. Well, he had known that moving to America would never be a simple matter, regardless of what his wife thought about it. There was another reason, however, the antiviral agent. The cure to HIV? That he had developed at What? After the Wuhan virus was discovered in infectious disease research facilities worldwide. Wait. Vaccines function by... Bro. But Makino had ordered Osawa to work on creating an antiviral agent, not a vaccine. The vaccine immunized the subject in order to prevent infection in the first place. Conversely, an antiviral agent could be used to treat patients already infected. It was so-called a wonder drug for combating the virus itself. Creating such a drug was far easier said than done. Developing the antiviral had been a long, arduous road. Only after years of research had Osawa's team succeeded in identifying... But don't look up too much because there's a lot of spoilers. You don't want to get any of the twists spoiled. Succeeded in identifying a substance that might qualify as an antiviral agent for Wuha. In theory, if it was administered during the virus's initial stages, 100% recovery could be attained. They'd also suggest an 80% survival rate for patients treated shortly after the onset of symptoms. But there was a fatal flaw with the new antiviral agent. Yeah, there's some crazy freaking twists, bro. You don't even know. Yeah, no. Not real. I was gonna say not real, sadly, but, not sadly. I'm glad it's not real. The side effects of the body were unusually potent. If it was administered in amounts beyond a certain threshold, it was linked to life-threatening complications. For a time, the research was at an impasse. It had seemed that the drug had been administered in high volume to combat the explosive propagation of the Wuhan virus. But then Osawa had received some fortuitous news. Koshi Pharmaceuticals' nanotechnology branch had engineered a cutting-edge device known as the DDS. Osawa had jumped on it immediately by administering his antiviral agent. With the nanotech DDS, he was able to use the smaller amounts of the drug to squash the Wuhan virus with precision. The procedure was a huge success. There was a marked increase in the drug's efficacy, along with the expected decrease in adverse side effects. The effects had been confirmed with via animal testing on Mondays, and now the antiviral was ready for the final development stages, clinical trials on humans. But the very existence of this new wonder drug was still a secret. No doubt Okoshi's leadership would be reluctant to see Osawa, the drug's lead researcher, transferred to another company. Still, it wasn't completely outside the realm of possibility. Once the antiviral was out of development and announced to the public, Osawa would be free and clear. For that very reason, he was loath to cause any friction over the drug right now. Anxiety only magnified his concern about the email he'd just received. Osawa called up Tanaka over the intercom. There's something I want to show you. Could you come in here? He needed a second opinion, and Tanaka quickly relied upon. Osawa opened the door for a moment. Tanaka knocked. He looked around before ushering his vice director inside. What's this about, sir? This? Osawa showed him one of the images. Tanaka's face went pale. It can't be. That image is terrifying, bruh. Tanaka clearly recognized the symptoms of the Wuhan virus. Any idea what this is about? Osawa asked. No, sir. These images were just emailed to me. The subject line says 1 year ago in South Africa. That would put it around the same time as the most recent run of infections, wouldn't it, sir? But that information isn't... Tanaka trailed off. Osawa nodded. The thing I don't understand is why these pictures were sent to me. Osawa opened the email from the other email. The second message I got says that these pictures are my crimes. I'll look into this on my end, sir, Tanaka said. He hesitated uncomfortably. Sir, just to make sure Are you asking about what I think you're asking about, Osawa said. Tanaka gave a slight nod. Understood, Osawa said. Don't worry. I won't trouble you. I appreciate that, sir. Visibly relieved, Tanaka left the study. Osawa brought up a folder marked Wuhan virus on his screen. Within the folder were enlarged images of the virus itself. He double-clicked one of the images. It blew up on the monitor to reveal pathogen in intricate detail. The specimen of the Wuhan virus was approximately 100 nanometers in diameter. 10,000 of them in line would take up barely a millimeter. But a single tiny virion, upon entering the human body, could become 2,000 an hour. The speed of multiplication was nothing short of astounding. Even the Ebola virus had a typical incubation period of 7 days or so before infected developed symptoms. Damn, that is high. or influenza, it was one of two. One or two. But the onset of the virus happened in more than 12 hours. Osawa viewed an image slideshow of the virus's propagation mechanism. It was a fascinating sight, no matter. Yeah, for real. Virus power creep is freaking insane. No matter how many times he looked at it, viruses existed to multiply, nothing more. They had no motives, no logic, nothing but simple multiplication. To Osawa, that fact held a certain air of mystery. If viruses had emotion, how would they feel about their lives? He had thrown himself into virus research in search of answers to questions like that, answers that no man could truly know. His development of the antiviral agent had really been nothing more than another job responsibility. He felt no particular sense of duty to protect people from a killer virus. He was just happy for the chance to play around with the UA day after day. Play around with UA. Oh shit. Another email. Sawa furrowed his brow. Emergency alert. Come to Heaven Publishing ASAP. If not, someone is going to die. Minoru Minorikawa. Heaven Publishing. Minoru Minorikawa. Osawa wasn't familiar with either of those names. He wondered if it was related to the mysterious emails he'd received earlier. Or maybe the sender had some information about the kidnapping. The fact that the message had been signed Minorikawa with a real name instead of a pseudonym, along with its obvious urgency, certainly gave it an air of truth. In the words, someone is going to die, filled him with a wave of panic. Maria! There was no time to waste. In a rush, he found directions to Heaven Publishing on his computer, then slipped out of the house. It took a good while to find his way to the multi-tenant building. The signs in front showed that Heaven Publishing occupied the 3rd and 4th floors. Osawa took the elevator to the 3rd floor. He peeked inside the offices there, only to find the entire place empty. The 4th floor was likewise deserted. I wonder what happens if I didn't fix that. Would he just walk into a dead body? There was a rope dangling from the ceiling, tied off in a noose. It all seemed rather sinister, but Osawa had no idea what it meant. He waited a good 30 minutes, anxious the whole time. The half hour turned to an hour, and then to 2. Yeah, well, I don't know. It seemed that no one was going to turn up. So I headed back to the 3rd floor. He decided to wait there for 1 more hour. By now he was committed. The extra hour turned into 2. Exhausted, he dozed off in his chair, and when it came to, it was close to sundown. Sunset already? He gazed out the window, the haze of sleep still clinging to his mind. He had the feeling he was forgetting something important. But the sight of the sun quietly setting over the cityscape made that crisis feel strangely distant. Yeah, I guess I missed him. He screwed up the address. Okay. Okay. Should we go Tama? Or Aichi? Or... probably one of these two. Tama. True, yeah, true. It's so hot. It's so hot in this thing. Way, way too hot. I feel like I'm sitting in a sauna. Everyone else on the street looks nice and cool, but here I am getting treated to my very own personal midsummer heat wave. On top of that, I can barely see, I can barely breathe. For that matter, but hey, what can I do? Oh, I'm so thirsty. Some iced tea would be amazing right now. I'm gonna pass out from dehydration. I may as well admit it, I underestimated how tough this would be. Who knew wearing a mascot costume would be so uncomfortable? A delicate young lady like myself has no business doing this. I suddenly have so much respect for the people on superhero shows. What? Can you imagine doing action scenes in something like this? Heck, all I'm doing is standing here, and I'm this close to calling it quits. But I can't. I need the work. I need the money. This is no time to be a wuss. A girl. Tatabayo! If I give up on this, what else am I possibly gonna do? Check out this revolutionary diet drink, Burning Hammer. Is it gonna explain what a free sample is? Bro. I thrust a free sample towards a passerby while shouting as loud as I can. Come on, give it a try. Oh, it's no use. People just walk by one after the other. They avoid looking at the sample. It's been like this ever since I started standing here. What gives? I figure at least one person would have taken a bottle by now. I mean, it's free, but I haven't managed to give away a single one. If this keeps up, there's no way I'm getting paid. This whole miserable experience will be nothing. Just drink this and watch the pounds melt away. No exercising, dieting necessary. I can hear the desperation in my own voice. Just burn, burn, burn! Sorry. Burn those pounds away. They're giving me cold looks now. They're probably giving me cold looks. They probably think I'm some shyster trying to offload dodgy projects. It's that simple, folks. You just gotta drink the weight away. I guarantee it. Heck, this whole thing reeks of a scam to me, too. Reeks of a scam. In other words, it seems like it's a scam, bro. Wait. A scam refers to, losing weight just by drinking some concoction is way too good to be true. Still, free is free. I think I'd be able to give one or two away. It's not like I'm trying. Okay, pep talk time. You can do this. Think about the money. Just start with one bottle. Alright, I'm gonna give this bottle away. The next person I see, no matter what. I don't know. It's really funny though. I close my eyes and gather my determination. I just need to get started, and the momentum will build from there. Oh? Alright, eyes open. There are two people walking in my direction. Wait, two? Oh no, which one do I pick? If I keep waffling... She's British! They're going to pass me by. I just need to hand this bottle off. Which one of these guys looks more likely to take it? Alright, well, I think this one's a pretty fair choice. We already know what happens if I give it to him. Kano's gonna freaking die. So, clutching the free sample in my furry fist, I try to force it off on the businessman to my left. Here you go, sir. Free sample of Burning Hammer, the latest and greatest diet drink. Yeah. True. The businessman flashes me a look of utter contempt and makes a point of avoiding me as he slips past me. Bam! There goes the wind right out of my sails. I wonder how the other mascots are doing about now. There's a sales demo happening today at 1 o'clock at the Nocaine building. Huh? Looks like the chicken has handed out all kinds of free samples. I don't get it. How come nobody's taking any of mine? What could I possibly be doing wrong? It's a little after 11. My morning of wandering around hawking diet drinks is just about over. I'll need to get ready to head over to the sales demo. I'd love to take this costume off, but then I'd have to carry it. The samples I haven't given out are almost too heavy as it is. Oh well, I might not have gotten results, but I tried my best. I sure hope they don't withhold my pay or anything. Hey, what gives? You got that many left? The chicken speaks with the female voice. Yeah, I reply sheepishly. Nobody seems to want to take mine. Well, I mean... I mean, are you looking for the right targets? Huh? Like groups of girls or bored-looking older ladies? Those are the types you gotta be gunning for, you know? Wow, I hadn't even considered that. Now that she says it, it seems so obvious. This is diet drink after all. Of course, I'm not gonna have any luck trying to voice it off on random guys. Well, whatever, the chicken says. Here, give me the samples you got left. I hand over my samples to the chicken, dumps, and the chicken dumps the whole water into a basket. I'll drink whatever's left so they don't find out you didn't pass them out. Huh? Wait, like all of them? Yeah, all of them. Chicken sounds pretty confident in herself. This may just be sample-sized bottles, but still they add up to a lot. I can feel myself on the brink of tears at the kindness of her offering. Thank you so much, that's a huge help. I bow deeply, which makes my mascot head wobble. Leaving the station behind, we head down the center gay tower. Oh. The Burning Hammer sales demo is going to be held there this afternoon. The job's supposed to pay 10,000 yen for the day. But if we can sell at least 100 bottles at the demo, they've promised another 10,000. That's alright. I need to make sure I sell those 100 bottles. Why is the screen shaking? Is that just my screen or is that the game? I need that 20,000 yen. I need it ASAP. We arrive in the Nokane building. Nokane. It's not Nokane. I was thinking of Spokane and freaking Washington, but Nokane. Building a rundown multi-tenant office complex. We head into the room where the Burning Hammer sales demo is taking place. Oh man. There are already about 50 seats out. Seats set up. I wonder how many people the free samples will pull in. The stage has been set up at the far end of the room. That's where I'm going to be standing sipping Burning Hammer while explaining its effects to the customers. Hurry up and take that thing off. Those chairs look CGI. The chicken flaps her wings as she speaks. It's kind of early, but come on, let's have lunch. I'm starving. Now that she mentions it, I realize I'm pretty hungry myself. The demo's not starting for another 2 hours. I can't win a war against my stomach for that long. The chicken and I head out to our waiting room where they've set out lunches for us. I'm getting my back real quick, the chicken asks. She arches her back towards me. Apparently she can't reach her own zipper. Oh, sure, just give me a sec. I try to unzip the back of the chicken suit, but my own suit's thick, fuzzy fingers have a hard time of it. What's the holdup? Come on, I'm roasting this thing. Hurry up. I almost got it. I get a hold of the zipper and yank it down. So freaking true. A girl emerges from the chicken as if she were... a girl emerges as if she were the chicken... As if the chicken itself were an egg. Phew. I'm alive. Her red sweatshirt is drenched in sweat. Almost at once she's kicking back and cooling off with a hand fan. Sorry, but would you mind getting mine too? I ask. Yeah, okay. I turn my back to the girl. I hear metal clacking behind me. At long last, I'm about to be free of this 5-ton fursuit. Huh? The girl murmurs awkwardly. Huh? What? A spike of anxiety hits me. What's wrong? Yeah, that's a no-go. Yeah, for the zipper's busted. What? Yeah, for everything's all silly and funny, bro. Yeah, sorry. This thing ain't coming up. What? My vision goes dark. No. I tug desperately at the costume, but no luck. I'm trapped inside. Oh, what the crap? Well, we can talk to the boss about it when he gets back, the girl says. I mean, it's not like we can just cut it off you with scissors or anything. She sounds entirely unconcerned. It's so unfair. I need to get out of this stuffy, sweltering steam bath as soon as possible. All I can do is clench my fist in impotent rage. But anyway, good work out there today, the girl continues. I'm Chiriko Osugi, by the way. You can just call me Chiri. She smiles as she introduces herself. I mean, I'm a pretty cheery girl after all. She breaks into a hearty guffaw. Sorry, one second. Or, oh, sure. It's nice to meet you. So I guess you're not gonna be able to eat lunch in that get-up, huh? Huh? That's right. What should I do? Don't sweat it. Just leave it to me. What? So true. I'll eat both lunches myself. Ah. Sure, doesn't even wait for me to reply before eating my lunch. Reaching for my... Be ashamed to let it go to waste, she says. She makes it sound like leftover food is a bigger concern than my hunger. I can feel my appetite stirring all the more as she devours my meal with satisfied grin on her face. A faint, pathetic gurgle rises from my belly. It's just a cheap little prepackaged box lunch. But right now it looks like a feast. So what's your name, Cheery asks. Her cheeks are still packed with rice. My name? Yeah. Oh, it's, I struggle to think of an answer. My eyes alight on the piece of tamagoyaki clutch between Shiri's chopsticks. Looks like a pineapple. The yellow slab of lightly grilled egg wobbles to and fro. I can see the inside from the way it's been sliced. It looks somewhat undercooked. Come on, what's your name? Oh, right, Tama. It's Tama. Huh? You mean like the famous cat? Well, ain't that fitting. Shiri chortles and stuffs the pieces of tamagoyaki into her mouth. Then takes a big swig of iced tea. I'm beyond jealous. I wish I could gorge myself on those lunch boxes until I'm busting. Heck, even a cold glass of iced tea would be a lifesaver right now. I'm so thirsty, I'm starting to get dizzy. Maybe I really am dehydrated. This isn't good. If I do something, I'm gonna pass out before the sales demo even starts. And then I remember something. The zipper down my back might be busted, but I can still take the head off, right? That way I'd at least be able to eat and drink stuff. Alright. I decide to... What's the method? How are we getting this off? Yeah, this actually, this changes the entire course of the game. No, I'm going with B. That sounds funny. What gives? It won't come free no matter how hard. To make things worse, now I've got this dull throbbing pain at the back of my head. Like I bumped my head somewhere, but I don't remember doing that. Hopefully that doesn't make big of an impact. If it does, my bad. Cheery flashes me a curious look. What are you doing? I thought maybe I could at least get the head off. I try pulling again. That ain't gonna work. That thing's attached to the body. I slump forward in defeat, face planting on the tabletop. No. Most folks would have noticed that when they put it on, you know? Why didn't the boss help me get into it? Is the thing. For Kano's gonna literally get, like, shot in the head, bruh. Well, don't let it get you down, Cheery says. Here, drink some of this. She pulls a bottle with a straw from her bag and pours some of the tea into it. In a fever of thirst, I jam the plastic straw through the mascot costume's mouth. Thankfully, it reaches as far as my own. Yo, what the sus? I suck for all I'm worth. What the sus? I suck and I suck and I suck. My body rejoices at the moisture. As the moisture, like rank. And thus, I revive. Actually, it kind of does feel like I'm coming back to life. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm never gonna forget this as long as I live. With tears welling up in my eyes, I clutch Cheery's hand in my fuzzy mitts. Aw, hey, I'm not the kind of person to abandon someone in need, you know, she replies. An embarrassed grin crosses her face. How come you're carrying this ball around with you anyway, I ask? Oh, that's because I make my own protein juice. Is it going to tell me what protein is? In Japan, the word protein is frequently used to refer to a powdered health food supplement. Right. Protein juice. Never heard of it. heard that if you have protein juice for one of your 3 meals a day, you'll lose weight. So yeah, I kind of need to keep it. Given Chiri's sort of, well, chubby frame, I don't think protein's been working so great for her. Damn! I've been trying all sorts of stuff, but right now protein's totally the best thing for my diet. This stuff, though, Chiri casts her eye at the sample of burning hammer on the table. It's like totally bogus. Huh? Bogus? That's a surprise. Well, yeah. Soy! So true. Soy Max. You gotta exercise if you want to burn body. Burning refers to losing. The best way to burn fat is to engage in steady, low-intensity aerobic exercise. After roughly 20 minutes, the body burns through its available blood sugar, and the brain sends signals to have fat brought into the bloodstream. This is how fat is burned. Anaerobic exercise, which leaves you panting and breathless, is not effective. Huh. She smacks herself on one flabby arm. I mean, there's no way you're gonna lose weight by taking in more calories. Huh? Didn't she just say she was drinking protein juice to lose weight? I keep that thought to myself. I mean, that is ridiculous as an all-you-can-eat Kobe Bryant buffet, she adds. She shakes her head seriously. I'm not sure about using all-you-can-eat anything as an example in a discussion about weight loss. Again, I keep the thought to myself. Hey, a job's a job, Chiri says after a moment, perking up again. You tell me to sell this junk, I'll sell it. A sudden wailing comes from outside the other side of the door. Please just give me time. I swear I'll get it back to you. What the heck? Chiri says. Is that the boss? I nod. That's definitely Mr. Yanagashita's voice. He's the guy who hired me. Oh, my neck. Ow. Oh, ow. Oh. Sliding up alongside Chiri, I very quietly open the door and take a peek. Holy schmoly, it's freaking... It's the Yakuza 0. Mr. Yanagashita is down on his hands. Wait, Yanagashita, yeah. Hands and knees begging while the two uncouth-looking men glower at him. Just a little more time, that's all I ask, he pleads. Once I sell all this stuff, I can pay you back. I see a tiny bottle of burning hammer in his hand. It's so freaking true. Just a little more, mimics the middle-aged fellow. I just gotta sell this. We've heard enough of that out of you. Who's Kaito? From Danganronpa? Yeah, the younger guy sneers. We ain't giving you any more time, so quit asking. But I really just need a little longer than this, please. You gotta believe me. From the look of things, Mr. Yanagashita is dealing with some loan sharks. What could loan sharks do? Though it seems obvious, the term refers to sharks. And the two thugs are clearly in no mood for his continued groveling. Judgment. Chiri and I exchange a glance. And it's probably best we don't go out there right now. But now I'm really worried. Am I actually going to get paid for this gig? Damn! As I'm pondering that, one of the men grabs Yanagashita by the nape of the neck and drags him to his feet. Come with us, pal. We'll take you someplace you can work off your debts. Say what? Mr. Yanagashita wails. The two men drag him away. Huh, guess he's gone then, Chiri says. She's already starting to pack up her things. Hey, what are you doing? I ask. Going home. Not much point sticking. For real. Getting freaky. Going home? I mean, the demo sure ain't happening now. Anyhow, it was nice working with you. See ya. Moments later, Chiri's out the door. Now what do I do? I've been left here all by myself. More or less at a total loss. Damn. Actually, genuinely, how do I... Someone told him how to get there. My guess is freaking Norikawa, or maybe it's Achi. That would fix Kano's, though. Should I go with Achi? Or should I do Kano? Minorikawa. Alright, sure. Alright, yeah, this does absolutely nothing. But, sheesh. Guess I already. Oh, okay, wait. Gotta stop staring at it. Santa Claus, Yakuza member, Japanese folks. Wait, why does it, on this choice, it like describes it out? I mean, first join the. Yeah, okay. Concentrate. Keep your eyes peeled, Sazayama. Give Kano a pat on the backside. Slipped away into the next car. The suspect. Yeah, I guess so. The suspect, meanwhile, was still at the window. The announcer's electronic voice filled the train compartment. Next up, Harajuku. Next up, Harajuku. Huh? Kano almost cried out. The suspect was moving toward the exit door. Apparently, he was only taking the train one station down the line. The train pulled into Harajuku station and the man got off. The detectives following him disembarked accordingly. The suspect walked along the platform and took a seat on the empty bench. He was checking to see if he had a tail. Sticking around the platform at the station where he just got off was pretty unusual behavior. Not wanting to arouse the man's suspicion, the investigators from the NPD made their way down the stairs as inconspicuously as they could. Kano, however, had a sudden inspiration and went to speak to one of those station attendants. Sorry to bother you, but I think I left something on the train just now. He tried to keep an eye on the man on the bench as he fed his story to the attendant. The suspect silently on the bench, attaché case clutched securely in his arms. He didn't really look like he was checking for a tail. Yeah, this dude's locked in. Was he waiting here for someone else? Before long, the train heading counterclockwise around the loop arrived. The man rose from the bench and stepped up to the boarding area. Wait, what the heck? If this guy got the counterclockwise train, wouldn't that just take him right back to Shibuya Station? The man boarded the train. Kano had no choice but to follow suit. Was this guy playing them? He might be playing them, bruh. The suspect got off again once the train reached Shibuya. All he'd done was go to Harajuku and come right back. Kano reported into Kuze. The suspect has returned to Shibuya Station. Acknowledge. Keep telling him. Kano felt himself growing increasingly paranoid. The criminal organization didn't seem too keen on getting away. Heroes HQ giving these guys free rein. Something was off, he was sure of that. As he tailed the mark, Kano took out his phone. What were top-nose instincts about the case right now? I don't know, take a look at your dick diary, bruh. If the senior detective had any advice, Kano would love to hear it. Tail top-nose number, or called. Nobody picked up. I was busy seeing the Hitomi safe. Kano felt bewildered. They'd been letting the suspect lead them around for over an hour now. During an abduction case, he generally didn't update the victim's family on any developments in case they tried to interfere. Kano could only imagine what the Osawa family was going through right now. After a short walk from Shibuya Station, the attaché case was handed off yet again. This time, the recipient was a tall, dark-skinned man. Against the Shibuya-based task force split into two groups in order to tail both suspects. Kano stuck with the man who had the case. As the previous man had done, the newest suspect wandered around Dogenzaka for a while, repeatedly looping around and around the same location was a weirdly roundabout way to make a series of handoffs. Excuse me, detective? This dude? Kano turned around with a start. Oh, hey, he said. I know you. It was Leyland Palmer, the lecturer who'd been an eyewitness to the kidnapping. The man practically radiated concern. How's Maria doing? Is she all right? I'm very worried for her. His Japanese was more halting now. My heart is with her family. Kind of gave a quick look around. It didn't appear that they were being watched. Oh, what should I say? Wait, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Oh, my back. What the hell? Um. Alright. Let me read these options. I'm kinda freaking tired. What? Danganronpa. Danganronpa. Alright. Homer Simpson Battle Pass. 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 Yay! Wait. Oh, okay. That's not too shabby. Alright, what are we thinking? If anyone's in the chat, I don't know. Yet. My shapeshift Sean plays here, bro. The cookies disappear. No, not the frickin' cookies. Freaking cookies, bruh. Delicious. Delicious. Anyway, sorry, okay, there we go. I'm back. What are we thinking? Should I, maybe he knew more? Or, I can't stick around like this. Maybe Palmer's up to no good. Or maybe he's got the method. It's a tough choice. Okay. Can't stick around like this. I'm sorry, but at this stage I can't share any details. Is that so? Oh, yes, of course. Ellen cast his eyes down and hung his head. Please don't worry, though. We are still hard. Oh, yes, thank you. that, Kano turned away from the lecture and went back to his suspect. Oh no, is it freaking Rumi, bro? It was weird that she'd called twice when she knew he was in the middle of something important. Did something happen while she was waiting at the cafe? Kano picked up hurriedly. What's the matter? What's the matter? You know what the matter is. Rather than Rumi's soft soprano, it was a threatening masculine voice. Uh-oh. Kano got stiff. Is this my father-in-law speaking? Oh, that's a bold move. Don't remember being anyone's father-in-law. Speaker's tone was confirmed and flat. No, I know, I just, Kano found himself at a loss for words. So you're dating my daughter, huh? Sir, yes, sir. Kano barely squeaked out his reply. Thinking about getting married? Yes, sir. Speaking of which, I'd love the chance to sit down and have a nice one. Then how long are you gonna keep me waiting? Hurry up and get your ass over here. Oh, how very much Kano wished he could do exactly that. Sir, I would, but... for real, it's a crazy play. It's a crazy play. Forget it. The words came in an angry hush. You can't have her. Goodbye. What? Wait, what? Sir, please wait. As Kano cried in desperation, he heard Rumi's voice on the other end of the line. Dad, you can't just use my phone like that. You were taking too long to bet. I'm just realizing this now, but what does it matter? They're both full-grown adults. Why do they need the father's permission? Like, what is he, like, threatening to keep him out of the will or something? Like, give it back. Rumi? Kano tried and failed to keep the heartbreak out of his voice. Sweetie, what's wrong? Your father just said he doesn't want us getting married. What? Dad? Yeah, I guess so, but at the same time, when you're in your 30s, bro, you cannot. I mean, I think you can have some agency, but maybe. What do you say to my boyfriend? Listen to you, calling that boy little pet names and whatnot. I think you're a little too attached. Daddy, you haven't even met him. That's why I told you to have him come see me. How long is he gonna make me wait? Okay. If I am planning on meeting someone, I'm going to plan it on a time where we can both meet. What the freak does he think he's... we're meeting, right now. Oh, sorry, I can't. Then I guess you don't love her. Like, what? Kind of listened as the two argued over the end of the phone. The phone must be lying somewhere between them. Could this get any more awkward? Rumi, I'm sorry, Kano shouted apologetically into the mouthpiece. This is all my fault. Please, you don't have to fight like this. The phone clattered as Rumi scrambled to bring it to her cheek. No, I'm the one who should be sorry. Sorry for what? It was Shizuo again, grumbling in the background. You have nothing to apologize for. I'll deal with my father. Just focus on work, sweetie. I know you're in the middle of something important. Thanks, Rumi. Kano was legitimately touched. I'll do my best. Broaching the copy-way mechanism. Kano hung up and went back to the task at hand, more determined than ever. For Rumi. Wow, I'm glad the person with the briefcase decided to stay here too. Not to mention the victim. You need to focus on cracking his case. The man he was tailing was walking several meters ahead. There was no telling when, because they might give the arrest order. Kind of braced himself to spring into action the very instant the order came down. Mobile command all units. Was it time to make the arrest? We've identified the man who first picked up the Atoshi case by the statue of Hachiko. No arrest yet, then. But still a crucial development. Evil ass man. His name is Tariq Al-Karawan. Yeah, true. The suitcase man was his freaking dad, bruh. Or was his father-in-law. He's got priors for larceny, illegal possession, narcotics, you name it. He belongs to a foreign criminal syndicate that's operating in Shibuya. Kind of felt his apprehension rising. If the syndicate was behind the kidnapping, they were anything but amateurs. I know they might be leading the police on a wild goose chase. I know, that's what I was thinking too, but I guess, yeah. Unless he's from like one of the Stan countries, cause that shit sounds straight like, or maybe he's I don't know. What's the where's Tariq commonly a name? Cause I know it's a I know it's a name. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, no, it's an Arabic word. Oh, it's also in Turkish. Okay, yeah, he might be Turkish. Anyway, beating the police on a goose chase. Oh, damn. Kano's story is done? Okay. Still haven't even started Achi's, bruh. Alright, let's see what it's all about. Oh wait, shit, I forgot about going back to Minoru where the man with the cane aimed his gun at Hitomi. Yeah, his face is devoid of emotion. Yeah, true, it did leave on quite the cliffhanger. How are they gonna get out of this? Please, the girl said, trembling. Why are you doing this? The man did not reply. What the freak? What is he, force choking him, Brett? Quickly, Achi stepped in between Hitomi and the gun, spreading his arms wide. Stop, he said in English. One of the few English words he knew. Why did he say it in English? It's like the most Japanese man I've ever seen. Quickly reverted back to Japanese. Who the hell are you? For real. Still, the man did not respond. You know this guy, he told me? No. She was sure he'd never seen the man either. What, are you after money? Because if you are, boy, you are wasting your time chasing us. The man furrowed his brow, adjusting his point of aim to Achi's face. His bloodthirsty gaze left Achi no doubt that he was willing to pull the trigger. Reflexively, Achi took a step back, his foot clattering against a discarded beer bottle. We're gonna get gunned down for sure, unless we can find some way to catch the guy off guard. It didn't need to be much. If Achi could just distract the gunman for a moment, buy himself the briefest window. Shoot me then. Go on, do it. He stepped forward as he shouted, hoping the provocation would confuse the guy for long enough. Even as Achi moved, the gunman's attention was distracted for an instant by a sudden sound. The phone in his breast pocket. Seeing his chance, he... Oh man. I don't think this choice is gonna matter much. Shit. Which one? Which one's the method? B? Beer ball, yeah. Some... Oh shit, he missed. Oh man. Oh no, he got him. The man narrowly avoided being struck, but he staggered off balance. He told me! Achi grabbed her by the hand and dashed out of the club. Alright, they got away. The two sprinted away through the side streets and alleys of Shibuya. Achi began to feel as if they were running some maddening maze. Before long, the two had made it almost as far as Aoyama. Wait up, huh? Achi, wait up. Achi glanced back at Hitomi. Ah, my bad. Guess we've been running pretty hard. You tired? Hitomi shook her head. No, it's just, I have to go to Togenzaka. Togenzaka, what for? What could you possibly need to do there now? That's what I was told when I handed over the case. You're going to do exactly as I tell you. He wore a cool smile. First, you're gonna go to Togenzaka and get in the blue van there. Hitomi nodded. Second, you will not attempt to contact either the police or your family in the meantime. It's chilling tone brooked no argument. Just two things. Yeah, for real. We'll let your sister go. Hitomi nodded again. The man flashed big, bright, okay then. Give me the money. A blue van in Dogenzaka, huh? Hachi muttered. So that's why you said the police were a no-go. Yeah. I wonder if your sister's in that van then. If she is, then we gotta hurry. The issue lay in how we get to Dogenzaka. They could probably avoid their pursuer if they kept to the streets only the locals usually knew about. That meant staying off the more well-trafficked roads like Roppongi-dori or the stretch between Miyamazuzaka and the station. The side roads south of the station were their best bet. If it was going to be a long detour. All right, come on. Turning, Hachi headed back the way they'd come. After a moment's confusion, Hitomi followed. Hachi. There was a note of worry in her voice. Hey, don't sweat it. I actually live in Dogenzaka. We're heading right back to my old neighborhood. Hitomi bowed her head. Thank you so much. It's no problem. I had to head home anyway. Hachi gave her a grin and she cracked. What? Oh, a tiny smile of her own. Hey, you two. You got a minute? Oh. Hachi looked around. A pair of men approached from across the street. There was something shady looking about them. Hachi's protective instincts kicked in and he stepped in front of Hitomi. I guess so. If these guys meant trouble, he wanted to be ready. We just want to ask you something. The younger of the two drew in closer, sharp gleam in his eye. Hachi braced himself. Asked us what? You know where the Nokane building is? The man held up a flyer. It's for some sort of health food sales demo. Come on, man. Nokane building? You know where it is? Hachi knew the name. Wasn't that one of the buildings on Center Guy? That was near Dogenzaka, the same direction he was going. Opposite direction. Pretty sure it's that way, he said. Thanks, man. Sorry to bug ya. The two men head toward the main road. Damn, he looks so nice and chill. He told me hurried onward, following the sparsely trafficked side streets toward Dogenzaka. I don't think I even know this part of Shibuya was here. Oh wait, that was Hitomi. Hitomi said as she looked around. Yeah, a lot of people don't. I used to mess around in this neighborhood when I was a kid. The area was a mishmash of run-down residencies and office buildings. Almost nobody ever comes here unless they live or work on one of these streets. And check it out, over there, a rare first-hand glimpse of the Shibuya River. Have you always lived in Shibuya? Yep, born and raised. She bent down to pick up a piece of trash from the roadside. That's why I do this. It just pisses me off to see folks make a mess of this place. He picked up another piece of trash. I don't have a job, so I just pick up garbage. Man, what am I even doing? Like, cleanup even matters right now. He told me he took a long, hard look at his face. What? He demanded. What is it? You're a strange one, Hachi. That's so? She was right, of course. It was sort of strange collecting trash every day instead of getting a job. Broke boy. Freaking unemployed Max. For real. Yeah, there's reasons for it, but they weren't important right now. Right now, the important thing was, getting Hitomi to Dogenzaka. Come on, he remembered. Oh. A sudden angry shout broke the silence as they hurried along. Hey, hold it right there. Hachi and Hitomi stopped, but the shout wasn't directed at them. Further up the road, a group of thuggish-looking men were having some kind of argument. The men were shouting, idiots, and you still got the gall to call yourselves SOS? The Studs of Shibuya, a young gang operating out of Shibuya founded by Achi Endo. I mean, yeah, Susumu, but the other men standing around looked distinctly uncomfortable. It takes money to run an organization. No, I know. Since it's not like you're Achi or nothing, I thought you could maybe spare some help on that front, boss. Boss means top dog. Hitomi looked at Achi when The stranger spoke his name. He smiled awkwardly, then turned back to the altercation. Shut your mouth, Susumu barked. How dare you say Achi's name in my presence? Hey! Achi called out. What was that about me? As soon as they saw him, the other men went pale. Achi kept his tone casual as he strolled up. Susumu. Yeah, true. You can't just give the guy a beatdown. Beatdown means to mess someone up super bad. In broad daylight. Don't want to shock the upstanding people of our fair city. Achi. Susumu glared. Can we drop the pleasantries? Alright, Achi replied with a hint of sneer. You got it, Susumu. And I'd like to point out we're not on a first name basis. With that, Susumu turned and stalked away. His buddies followed suit, leaving Achi and Hitomi alone again. Did you know that guy, Hitomi asked? His name's Susumu Nishizawa. And yeah, I know him. I thought I did. Used to be friends way back. Me and those guys were all part of the same crew, but I bailed a little while ago. Achi fell silent. I wonder if that'll be relevant later. Because this, Achi and Hitomi had gone a short distance further when he caught sight of a man picking something up alongside the train tracks. Huh? I wonder. Achi went over there. Hey man, you picking up trash by any chance? Huh? Oh, this guy. The man. 35 years old? This dude looks primitive. Just opened up a knick-knack shop. Achi knows she'd be like, okay. Sorry, it just kind of looked like that's what you're doing. Oh, yeah, I'm picking up trash, of course. Guy seemed pretty unnerved. Like, I just got to thinking, man, this place is filthy. Right on! Achi clasped the man's hand in his own. Someone else who gets it. They do? Totally. I see all this trash over the place and I can't stand it. Oh yeah, sure. Man breathed a sigh of relief. I can't stand it when someone throws away when it can be useful. I hear that. That's the spirit. Bro, he told me he's gotta be freaking scared of this dude. Achi pulled out the trash he had stuffed in his pocket. Here you go. Huh? Go ahead, have all of it. The man looked dumbfounded. Usually I go around picking up the trash around here, but I've got a little thing I gotta do today. He's being a freaking weirdo. I gotta do it. Yeah, you got it from here. I'm counting on you. What? Actually, I'm kinda... Great, thanks. Achi beamed in approval, then rejoined Hitomi and headed on down the street. The man let out a sigh. Fine. Slipping through a narrow back alley. Pause. They came out near the top of Doganzaka. Wait. Ooh. Achi looked down the hill, but didn't see a blue van anywhere. He and Hitomi started making their way down towards Shibuya Station. Hitomi muttered to herself, I don't see it parked around here. Her face twisted up with worry. It was a lot harder to find street parking closer to the station. Hitomi, hold up. Achi had a sudden idea. He darted into a nearby soba restaurant, mentioning for Hitomi to follow. Motion. Hey, ya! He called out to the proprietress, a sharp-eyed middle-aged woman. You're looking as lovely as ever today, I see. Oh, Achi, are you done collecting trash for the day? The lady took a look at Hitomi, her eyes lighting up. Is this your girlfriend? Huh? Oh, no, it's nothing like that. The proprietress was undeterred. Oh, she looks just like a model. She's the spitting image of me at that age. Dang! Freaking retired baddie, bruh. My. Achi's got himself a girlfriend. I said it's not like that. The woman waved Hitomi over. Now, you know Achi's got a bit of a mouth on him, and he's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's a sweet boy. Okay. Hitomi forced a polite smile to her face. He'll try to deny it, but don't you listen. Has he told you about Suzune? Huh? Ma'am, please. Achi jumped in on the conversation. You gotta hear me out. Whatever's the matter? I'm just trying to talk up your good points. Have you seen a van parked around here? A van? Let me think. Yes, come to think of it, there was. A blue one, she added confidently. Buh! Tommy leaned forward. Where is it now? Well, I don't know. I don't keep a close eye on all things. Tommy slumped. I see. I know it doesn't look it, but I've been quite busy today. The man who makes my noodles came by earlier to settle accounts, and we fought and fought over it. No head for finance is that one. That's his problem, honestly. And on top of that, of course, my part-timer Masa has to have today off. Archie frowned. Had she really seen the blue van, or was she just being chatty? Oh, older women who ran tobacco shops or noodle houses did seem to have a knack. But women her age weren't always the most reliable. Huh. Do I trust her? Or do I keep on looking? It's a hard choice. I think... Oh. Alright. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, shit. Older, Archie decided to follow up some more. Was there anything unusual about this van? Well, let me think. The woman frowned, pausing a moment. That's right, now I remember. I think there was some foreigner sitting inside. Archie and Hitomi exchanged glances. Yeah, I'm sure of it. The man who makes my noodles said he saw it too. Was there anything else? No? Thanks. Hitomi hung her head in frustration. Archie did his best to cheer up. Hey, we might still find that car. Let's try waiting around here for a while. Just waiting? What good will that do? It's possible that they went looking for you when you didn't show. Maybe they'll come back, you know? He sat down on the edge of a planter. The criminals already had the money, she said anxiously. Even Archie understood the implications. Now that the crooks have the ransom, their hostage was nothing but a liability. Why take the risk of letting her go when they already had what they wanted? The situation was bad, very bad. Still just running around Shibuya willy-nilly was going to tire and frustrate them. Archie wanted to make sure Hitomi had the chance for a little break. We don't have anywhere else to look, so let's just give it 10 minutes, okay? Hitomi seemed unconvinced. She looked like she might march off down Dogensok at any moment. I understand how you must feel, but you know what they say. Slow and steady, stay in place. Hitomi burst out laughing. Huh? What's so funny? Slow and steady wins the race, dumbass! For real? Hitomi smiled, then sat down beside him. Right, she said. We can wait here for 10 minutes. Cool. We've run enough races already today. Alright, right? But Hitomi kept her eyes on the car passing through Dogenzaka for a while. Then she murmured softly. Thank you so much for everything, really. You can thank me after we find this van. I'm sure if I'd been by myself, I'd have been in too much for a panic to do it. What can I say? Yeah, for real. Yeah, it's that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't gonna say it. I'd have been in too much of a panic to do anything. What can I say? I try to keep my head up and face things as they come. You're quite the optimist, aren't you? Archie grinned. He tried to recall what Optimus meant. I was pretty sure it had something to do with the Optimus Prime. Maybe glasses? The shy, sweet look on Hitomi's face. As she said it, though, made him figure it wasn't a bad thing. Cars drifted on by one after the other, but they saw no sign of a blue van. After a while, even Archie began to grow impatient. And then... He told me, look! There it was. Bro! Cliffhanger. I guess we gotta do Tama. I'll do the same thing so I can just skip ahead to... Okay. For real. On K. You forgot it was a cliffhanger merchant, bro. Doors flies open suddenly and a voice spells out, "Hold it right there." I whirl around in a panic to see an odd-looking man standing in the doorway. It's Junichi Yanagashita. The songs. He's the guy who hired us. I heard that cheery. Don't you go calling my product junk. That's disrespectful. Cheery gave him an apologetic look. Whoops, sorry about that. You should be, but whatever. If you really have doubts, have a try for yourself. Mr. Yanagashita pulls a bottle of burning hammer from his coat pocket. At first glance, it looks like some kind of energy supplement, but the cheapo labels give an immediate impression of sketchiness. Go on, says Yanagashita. Give it a go. Cheery reaches out to take it. But no sooner does she grab the bottle than Mr. Yanagashita shout out once more. Wait, hold on. What? What gives? You two. You're both good stomach-wise? Stomach-wise? Yeah. Drinking the stuff on an empty stomach can cause some pretty nasty problems. So just make sure you eat or drink something beforehand. Doesn't matter what, really. Wait, nasty problems? Yeah, such as what? I'd rather not say. Nobody would buy it otherwise. Seriously? It's all good. I just had lunch, she says. She flashes a carefree smile. Well, I haven't eaten yet. But on the other hand, I've been guzzling as much iced tea as I can fill myself up. It's probably safe for me to try this stuff. I'm thinking A might not be a good choice. But what do you reckon? A, B, C? I'm leaning towards B, but I don't know what C would do. Screw it. B it is. Damn. Bro's got water all over his screen. Alright, then I'll just roll with B. Cheery twist up the cat. Bottoms up. She guzzles it down. Doesn't seem like she minds it. Maybe it's actually pretty tasty after all. Huh? Aren't you gonna have some too? Yeah, Mr. Yanagashita flashes me a look. Guess I might as well try just a little bit. No! I stick the bottle of burning hammer into my mascot head mouth. It has an unexpected smell like curry. Peeing my own lips around the mouth of the bottle, I gulp down the liquid inside. Huh? Doesn't taste like anything. Handful of seconds go by. Oh, what the heck? Feels like a firecracker just exploded inside my mouth. Now it's spicy, way too spicy. It's like I just swallowed a chili pepper coated curry powder. Before I know it, I'm sweating bullets. Well, you sweating? Mr. Yanagashita asks. For real, that is nasty. Like a whole lot, you are, aren't you? Why does he sound so happy about that? That right there is the magical burning hammer at work. Cheery and I are at a loss for words. Burning hammer? Drink all you want and just burn those pounds away. How's that sound? Good, huh? This is so stupid spicy, it makes you sweat, Cheery blurts out. Blunt and to the point. I approve. Yeah? Well, I guess you're right, Yanagashita says. He hangs his head. What is this stuff, I ask? I can still feel my tongue tingling. Heck, my body is almost too numb to move. I'm so shocked I even forgot to get properly angry. So it's this health food product that got imported from America a few years back, Yanagashita explains. But the import agency went out of business not long after and couldn't move the merch. So I bought up the whole lot. Everything they had in their storehouse. Spent all the money I had on it. Cheery arches an eyebrow. How much did it cost you? 1 million yen for 300 bottles. What? I can scarcely believe my ears. 300 bottles at 1 million yen for the lot? What is that, like around $10,000? Roughly, yeah, it's like $30 freaking a piece. Which one of those teensy little bottles cost over 3,000 yen? You got ripped off, man. You really think so? Huh? Yeah, you're probably right. He hangs his head even more despondently. This is the sort of thing they'd sell in 100 yen shops or something. Ouch. Sure, you're moving in for the kill. Yeah, $30 a bottle is crazy. 100 yen shops, really? Mr. Yanagishita lets out the heaviest of sighs. I'm starting to feel pretty bad for the guy, actually. Don't let it get you down, sir, I say, hoping to comfort him. But Mr. Yanagishita just lets out a sob-choked sigh. Is it going to explain what a sigh is? A deep breath, emphatically Wait, there's a jump! Should we do it? Good thing I opened sigh. Do we jump into the Minorikawa story? Also a way of expressing the anxiety brought on by massive debt. One has no money to give, only sighs. Right around now, Minorikawa... No, it's just... Toyama let out a long, heavy sigh. It's the scratch cards that were in the 4-star General Guide. Okay, I know what a scratch card is. That's where the problem is. And what is the problem? If you shine a light on the cards from behind, you can see where the winning symbols are. Whoa. I messed things up dealing with the printing company. All of this, he gestured vaguely. It's my fault. My responsibility. He proceeded to explain the situation in detail. Word was quick to leak on the internet that there was a way to find the winning symbols. Suddenly, thousands of card holders turned up en masse to collect. Heaven Publishing was hit with a massive financial liability, and the employees rushed to flee a sinking ship. Before Toyama realized it, he was the only one left in the company. And he was up against the deadline for next month's 4-star General Gossip. If I have to drop next month's issue, I'll be stuck in debt even deeper. And if that happens... yeah, kind of. I'm finished. Toyama gave a dismal groan. You don't drop the issue, Minorikawa snapped. So don't drop the... He pounded his fist right on the side of a cardboard box, but Toyama just shook his head weakly. I've been up for 3 days straight trying to fill the pages. It's not enough. I can't do the impossible. He dropped his gaze to the floor. Countless scratch cards lay scattered about. They'd probably been amidst the pile that had fallen off the desk earlier. Each card showed a neat row of 5 win symbols. You can't know if it's impossible if you don't see it through. I'll never make it in time. The proof... Okay, I know it needs to be done by 8 o'clock this evening. Well then, Minorikawa thought to himself. He let out a sigh, then held his hand out to Hana. Hana, would you mind giving me that hose? Hana gave her father a quick look, then handed the rubber hose to Minorikawa. This won't be necessary. He tossed the rubber hose into the trash, then jabbed his finger at Toyama. Show me the layout in the draft proposal for next month's issue! Toyama blinked a few times in disbelief. Huh? You can't possibly be serious. I'm trying to help. Now show me the layout and the proposal before I change my mind. After a brief, incredulous pause, Toyama hurried off to grab the paperwork. A layout in Publishing Speaks is an outline of a magazine showing which articles will... Okay, yeah. Minorikawa gave it a quick once-over, finding that 12 of the pages were still blank and untouched. He wanted to punch whatever writers had been assigned to those pages. See what I mean? Toyama said. It's hopeless. He sounded perversely proud of his failure. Getting enough material to fill 12 pages by 8 o'clock? Damn. Locked in. Rest in frickin' peace. It was definitely a tall order. Says who? Minorikawa replied. Remember who you're talking to here. You seriously think you can do this? You're joking, right? I seriously know I can do it. Is it really that bad? There's nothing in this world that I hate more than a bad joke. Why are you doing this for me? Toyama was getting misty-eyed. I'm not doing it for you, you spineless wimp. I'm doing this for your poor little Hana. Minorikawa, I'm so sorry. Toyama bowed his head so deeply Minorikawa thought he might put his face through the floor. Don't apologize to me. Apologize to your daughter. Oh, forgive me. Please forgive me, Hana. Toyama clutched her tightly. Damn, maybe I'll have to try it out. Oh, shit. I have visitors, which means, I gotta dip right now. How do I save? What the hell is that picture? Well, I'll get to the next hit point. The girl hugged him back on the verge of tears. Hey, enough of the waterworks. I've got your backs. Don't worry about a thing. Minorikawa picked up the draft proposals for that page. He's small bean. Sorry. The word Shibuya Scuttlebutt special. What? We're plastered. Okay, so a 12-page special edition block of Shibuya. Fair enough. First on the docket. Drink yourself thin with Burning Hammer. Oh man. It's reeked of a scam. The only way drinking more of something would make you lose weight would be if it was mixed with laxative, probably. Still, there was enough time to tweak the layout plan now. According to the proposal write-up, a product demo was scheduled for 1 p.m. that day. The location printed on the map was blurry and hard to make out, but Minorikawa had a rough idea where it was. Looked like he didn't have much of a choice but to swing by in hopes of getting more material. He scanned further along. Society, The Rise, Where Are They Now, Sexy Squared, Shibuya Now, Black Market Organ Trafficking. Wait, what? Those 7 pieces were to fill the 12 empty pages? That was the plan at any rate. But there wasn't enough material to make the headway. Wait, it's easy to write a page. Shibuya Now article didn't even have any proposed content. Alright, yeah, I gotta hop off. Things would be bad and turn to the dark side. Organ harvesting. Alright, yeah. Hopefully the save. We'll see. Back to title screen. Rip. Shit. I thought maybe I'd be able to finish the next hour, but... Oh, wait, shit, no, I can't click on that. That's spoilers. No! Okay, that was close. Okay. Alright. Thanks for watching. I'll have to grind out this game more because it's kind of heat. But, yeah. I got stuff to do for the rest of the day. That's what I'm saying, bro. This game's kind of peak. And the best part is it gets progressively better. Like, it does not fall off. It just gets better. But, yeah. True. Alright. Sounds good. Bye-bye.